Stardust Bowl and all that too.
Wait till a couple of viewers get on, and then introduce yourself.
Okay. And we are just underway here as we are starting our 5-game qualifying of day 2. If anybody's interested in the scoring update, we have the standings after 10 games posted on the EYT Facebook page.
And we'd like to thank a few of our sponsors today, starting with High Five Gear. They're giving each of the winners a free unique championship jersey, or champions jersey. And that's going to be a one-of-a-kind for each winner from each division.
Yeah, we'll see a couple of those champions come through on the live stream today. They're definitely, standout jerseys, and they look really sharp.
Yeah, and it's a pretty great goal to have a bonus on top of the scholarship money they'll be getting.
Right. Speaking of scholarship money, $1,500 to the U20 boys winner, as a little tidbit there. And $7,600 total in scholarship is going to be awarded today to the entire field at some point. So
that's absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's some regionals that we're playing as much as the amateurs and pros are getting at some regionals.
Yeah, and these youth bowlers are going to take home just as much. So in addition to the scholarship money, the championship jersey, High Five will also provide a banner that is on the masking units right now. So if you take a look right above the pins, those are all past champions.
Yeah, and then we'd like to also thank Storm Bowling, because they're also going to be giving out a free ball to each winner, and that's a ball of the choice. So that's pretty great.
Yeah, to each winner, whether it's U12, U15, and U20.
Yep. And then the Bowlers Journal, we'd like to give them a shout out as well. Gail Voschel, he's one of the main sponsors, and they've been contributing since the beginning. They've really helped kickstart this tour and watch it grow over the last few years. It's been a really great tournament and family to watch grow.
Yeah, Deandra and Jason at the start of this tournament, a couple years back, they were looking for that primary sponsor to help them get this off the ground and running. Gail was interested, and really, the rest is history. I mean, look how big it's gotten. 115 bowlers, and Diandra has her eyes set on even larger tournaments in the future, which we'd like to see. We'd love to see that. She wants to fill this entire center.
Yeah, and how we mentioned before, she's already got 40 lanes filled with the 115 bowlers, and this center's 82 lanes. So her goal is to double this at least.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, we have over a dozen states represented today. Florida, I think, was the furthest one.
Yep,
we have the South Dakota. I saw.
I've seen
Tennessee.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, South Dakota. It's definitely possible to get. And when you're awarding this kind of scholarship money, that's going to get people to come in.
Oh, definitely worth the travel.
In addition to those sponsors, we have Turbo. We'd like to thank. They're providing a Turbo prize pack to every runner-up.
Yeah, and what is in each of those prize packs?
So it's going to be variations of many Turbo accessories. It's not going to be the same throughout. So when the runner-up picks their prize pack, it's going to be different than the next prize pack. So things could include mini accessory bag, rosin bags, thumb hole tape, or thumb tape to protect your thumb. And then maybe a turbo patch or some turbo wipes to clean your ball off.
Yeah, that's all pretty great. Not bad to ease the pain for taking second place there.
Right, little consolation prize. And of course, we'd like to thank Stardust for having us and all the venues that we're going to be at. For a list of the entire schedule that the EYT will have this year, you can go onto the Elite Youth Tour page on Facebook, or you can go on their website, eliteyouthtour.com, and check it out there. If you'd like to sign up your youth bowler for a tournament, look at the schedule, and a little button will be there for you to sign up your bowler.
say thank you to Andrew, and hello and good morning to you as well.
Yes, good morning, everybody. We love the interaction in the comments. If any of our viewers have any questions, any special shout-outs, drop them in the comments. We'd be happy to address them.
All right, so on our starting pair,
So we'll be broadcasting lanes 21, 22, 23, and 24 today. And then, as well as in match play, we'll be broadcasting that live as well.
we've got Jade Olkey, then Alyssa Campbell, Mina Garnier. On 22, we got Caroline Backstrom, Zoe Peony. And then on lanes 23, we got Brianne Augustine, Holly Santucci, Monica Darrow. And then on 24, we got Haley Springs and Lauren Schaefer. Got some great bowlers in front of us right now.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So as we mentioned, we're bowling on a, did you say 40, what's it?
Today's 45-foot pattern.
45, okay. So
and looking at the pattern, they can play a few different lines, and we're seeing that as we're watching these people, or young athletes right now.
And if anybody's curious about the pattern, again, go on their website, eliteyouthtour.com, and it will have the pattern underneath this event. So again, we bowled on 2 patterns yesterday, 5 games each, short and long, and today's a medium pattern. So the graph of this pattern, it's going to allow for multiple angles. Bowlers can choose to play outside. There is some room in the middle of the lane or even deeper on the lane. So it's really going to be subject to their preference. We were expecting probably medium scoring pace.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier than the short pattern.
Definitely
for sure.
higher than the short pattern. Maybe not as high as the long pattern. This is, like we said, it's going to be more versatile, more angles you can play. It's going to be up to the players if they can execute their shots or not.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the players before this block and just trying to get in their heads and figure out what the game plan is. And a lot of them started with, yeah, I'm going to take it one shot at a time. Some of the leaders were saying I have a good cushion, so I'm going to try to stay in play. I'm not going to go outside my comfort zone and kind of keep the pocket in front of me. Some of the guys that were, and females that were a little bit lower on the standings that might have to take a risk, they're going to try to find that, that money line that's going to allow them to strike as frequent as often as possible.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun last 5 games to see who can crack into the top 5 or if anyone can stay in.
Some of the bowlers have chosen to throw urethane. A lot of the U20 boys are thinking urethane outside. Some of them are going to play maybe 10 or 12 at the arrows with a reactive ball and see how that looks. But with the design of this pattern, yeah, it's going to allow for anything. So I would typically go towards my A game and see if I have a line right there, and then migrate towards my B game. So a lot of these kids, they love throwing urethane on the gutter, and that's their A game right now.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a few stick outside and just go right up the lane and let the ball take over.
Yeah,
and
sometimes that's unbeatable.
Yes. Easy.
Yeah.
Like you said, stick into their A game and what they're comfortable with. And even if you're watching, like Alyssa right here, Campbell, 21B, she's playing right up the lane, letting the ball walk right into the pocket. She's consistently hitting the pocket. She's been fun to watch so far.
So yesterday the bowlers were spread out. Males and females were bowling all together, and all divisions were together. But today we have them in sets of lanes, with the guys, then the girls, and the guys and the girls again. So they'll be bowling with all their competitors now. Everyone's close together, and you know when it comes down to game 4 and 5, when the cut to the top 5 is in their reach, they're gonna know exactly what they have to bowl.
Yeah, that's what I always liked about bowling. They always brought everyone in the top, towards the top to bottom. You got to watch your competitors, people you're chasing, people that are trying to keep away from your score. And you can definitely kind of game plan if you see someone struggle a little bit. You can play it a little bit safer and just keep it in play and not split it as much, hopefully.
That's really hard, because when you see the scores halfway through the game and you start score watching, you know what you have to do, you know what your opponent's doing, and then you're playing all these different scenarios in your head. You're thinking, what if this person strikes? Then what do I have to do? Or what if I strike? You know, does that catapult me above them? And that's where the tight race comes into play, and that's where nerves come in, and the experience is going to come into play as well.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Sometimes it's best to just forget about everyone else, focus on the lane, and beat the lane. If you beat the lane, you'll beat everyone else.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because at the end of the day, you're bowling against the pins.
Yeah.
Right? There's no defense in bowling. And when you keep it at that simple mindset, that's really where you start to excel in these pressure moments.
Yeah, so we'll see some of these former champions, we'll see them. They typically like to just focus on their own games and worry about themselves. And we'll see that experience come through towards the end, I think.
Yeah, you'll see that mental toughness. A lot of these bowlers they already displayed that yesterday. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that today, especially when the going gets tough.
Yes, it'll be like we said, it's going to be a fun one. Each division, they all have a tight race for the cut line. It's going to be a great tournament to watch as we close out here today.
And it's not even just the top 5 that's going to be a little nerve-wracking. The number 1 and 2 seeds are also battling for something pretty important. So the leader will get a customized bowling pin given to him by EYT as the high qualifier, which is a pretty cool bonus to display that at your house or in your room. But also the leader gets a 2-round bye. And in a 5-person match play, that's a huge advantage. You don't have that possibility of getting out early. And the number 2 seed is going to have a 1-round bye.
And
so it's an important spot to get, I would say.
Not only is that an advantage to not have to worry about the first couple rounds, but you can watch, kind of get a game plan of what they're doing, how the lane's breaking down, and you can better adjust for yourself once you get out there. But then again, that person's been bowling, they're warmed up, and sometimes that's an advantage in itself.
Sometimes that 3, 4, 5 seed they have already bowled a game or two on this pair, and they know what the lanes are doing. They come in, they're fresh. Sometimes it is an advantage, and we've seen that on a couple of tour broadcasts recently as well.
Yeah, they're more comfortable, a little more confident after popping off a big game in the match before. So they got nothing to worry about. They're out there bowling their game, having fun.
On our live stream pair here, we have Mina Garner, who is from Roselle, Illinois. She's competing in the U20 division, and she recently switched to two-handed bowling.
Yeah, you don't see that too often on the women's tour or women bowling in general, but as the years go by, you see more and more come out and come through these youth tournaments.
Yeah, it's already been established on the men's side. As they come through on this live stream pair, you're going to see plenty of two-handed bowlers. That's from U12 all the way to U20, and it's really starting to migrate into the girls divisions as well.
Yeah, we got a few of them competing today, and Mina definitely being one of them. And she's made a pretty solid transition, it looks like.
Yeah, she has, and that's what her biggest challenge right now is growing her game physically and mentally, switching from one-handed to two-handed. And that's something that she's most proud of, is how she's handled that.
Oh, I couldn't imagine making that transition. You're going to be dealing with more power. You're going to have a little more speed, probably a little more revs, typically. And that's definitely something you're not used to seeing as a one-handed bowler when you make that transition.
Right. Yeah. Your game plan is completely different.
Yeah.
You're not. Your yeah, exactly. Your rev rate has increased. Your power has increased, and all of a sudden, where you used to play is not going to suit you well.
Yeah. So it's definitely a big transition, and she, like you said, she's the most proud how she's handling it, and it's showing that she is making those tough transitions, still learning, but she's been popping off a few good games this weekend.
So what is the biggest transition that you would say one-handed to two-handed? So we mentioned the lane play. Is there anything more on lane play, a little bit deeper, or anything else?
I don't know. I'd say, I've only ever bowled one-handed.
Yeah.
I bowled two-handed for fun on the side at practices, but I'd say, even changing how you look at the lanes, it's a little bit different, a little harder to be accurate, I guess, because obviously it's brand new to you, and you got to adjust for having a little more speed and power on it.
Yeah, a typical one-hander, let's say that they're at like a 300 rev rate and they're throwing the ball 14 miles an hour, but now all of a sudden they increase their rev rate to 400 and they're still around like 14 miles an hour. Well, they're going to have to play a different part of the lane, and the reason is it's going to create more friction on the lane, and the ball's going to want to hook more. I'm sure she wasn't used to playing these angles one-handed.
No, but she's making that transition, and like she said, it's one of her things she's working on the most.
Yeah, and it's a growing process, and bowling in these tournaments is definitely going to make her better.
Oh, with dealing on all three different patterns, it's going to do nothing but help her tremendously. Here we got Jade Olkey going up, looking to recover after a few open frames.
Jade is also a part of the U20 division, and she's from Wisconsin Dells in Wisconsin. Jade looks forward to bowling each tournament. It's a new journey, as she states it. She looks forward to getting advice and learning from each tournament that she bowls in, and she really looks forward to having the social life of meeting new bowlers, and it makes her a stronger person overall.
Yeah, and that's a great attitude to have coming into each tournament, because every tournament's not going to be your best tournament. So coming in here with an open mind, learning from each shot, each game, and even making the new friends, that's always a fun bonus to coming to these tournaments.
Yeah, creating friends. We touched on this a little bit yesterday. If we have any new listeners today, Mason and I have been friends since we were 13 years old, and that was 12 or 13 years ago now. You never know who you're going to meet in this bowling alley. You never know how long it's going to last as a friendship and where it's going to take you.
Yeah, definitely. Those first few years we've met each other, I'm pretty sure our game plans were the same as to beating each other and not really being great friends on the lanes, but off the lanes we always had a good time. So
yeah,
never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd be live streaming together, though.
That's for sure. And I'm so happy that it happened like this. We grew up together in Wisconsin, bowling these tournaments and stuff, and I'm happy to kind of give back to the youth bowling, which catapulted me into so much in my life.
Yeah, when we were given this opportunity, it was a no-brainer to say yes and give back and help these bowlers stay connected with their friends, families, and any fans they have watching from across the world, really. I think you met a young bowler today, and he's got a family member overseas.
Yeah, this bowler has his mother is in Denmark right now, and she's traveling for business. But we're looking forward to having him on to pop in and say hello, and hopefully his mother will be watching at that time. But I think it was a 7-hour time difference or so, and she's been watching all day yesterday and whenever he came on. So looking forward to having him, and he's a fun, very young bowler, and he's looking forward to getting on live stream. I don't think he's ever been on interview before, so it's something new.
Yeah, that'll be fun for him. It'll definitely an experience he won't forget. Jade recovers off that first ball gutter with a nice spare. in the 10th frame.
Here's Kira Lynn Backstrom. She's a U20 competitor from Channahole, Illinois. She's putting together a pretty good game.
Yeah, that could have been a 200 game very easily if just a couple missed single pins.
Yeah, a couple 9 misses.
But nothing wrong with a 180 to start the day off.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be, it might be the high game. It's close to the high game right now. We have a possibility for a 198 max. She's
Finishes
at
out.
182. So here's Alyssa Campbell. She can get all 3 in the 10th and max at 198.
Like we said earlier,
Good
she's
shot.
playing right up the lane, letting the ball do all the work, and she keeps hitting that pocket, letting
Yeah.
the pins fall on their own.
That's a great example of letting the ball do the work. So could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite lines where you kind of just put the ball down on the track, let the core and the cover of the bowling ball take over. Just real simple shot, real easy, smooth arm swing, and you really don't have to do a whole lot to the ball.
Yeah, she's really making it look effortless. You know,
Yeah.
she's walking with the ball and then delivering it, and then that's where the ball takes over, which is a very good example here. Little inside of target. Lose the 4-7. Alyssa's coming all the way from Tennessee.
Yeah, that's definitely a hike, but for these prize funds we're handing out today, definitely worth the trip.
A nice game there by Alyssa for a 188. That would be the high game that we see on this live stream in game number 1. One thing you'll notice to all of our viewers is that these youth bowlers, they like to move fast. They like to get done with the previous game and move on to the next game as soon as they can.
Yeah, definitely different from our college atmosphere we're used to, where everyone seems to be taking their time between games and coming up with game plans, kind of watching other teams. Here, they just get to the next lane. As soon as that lane opens up, you got 2 shots fired already.
Oh, they're moving on, that's right.
Hello and good morning to you as well, Chase. Hope all is well down in Chicago for you.
Throughout the tournament, we'll see some pretty big names in the standings. Some standouts that are notable champions and bowlers of the year from last year include Abigail Starkey. She's in the U12 girls division. Landon Jordan was in the U12 boys division. So both of those are bowlers of the year for the previous season. Landon is leading the U12 division, I mean, easily, by 200, 300 pins, I think it was.
Yeah, He's up by about 250 pins right now in second place and 303 on third place. So he's sitting really well.
Yeah, that's he put on a really good clinic yesterday. Yeah, he went plus 84 on the long pattern actually, which is a huge block.
Yeah, for anybody going over 200 or plus is a great accomplishment on that pattern yesterday.
He was actually the only boys U15 bowler that did go plus in yesterday's 5-game block.
Yeah, so he made some big moves on that second block there.
Yeah, that's where we saw him pull away.
And then in U15 division, we have 2019 EYT Bowler of the Year, Efron Soto. And in the U15 women, we have Julia Martin, and she was also the 2019 Bowler of the Year for them. And Soto, he moved up to the U20 division for this tournament, and he's currently sitting in 13th place, looking to make a move into that top 5 with these last 5 games.
Julian Martin is leading the girls U20 division, so she also moved up. She was a young bowler that actually led the U20 junior gold qualifying this year at the championships. She's leading by 40 pins over Jasmine McKeel, and Jillian came all the way from Stowe, Ohio.
Well, yeah, so she's definitely here to make a statement and bring home that scholarship money as well.
Failed to mention she is on Junior Team USA now.
Yeah, and for her to lead that U20 division at Junior Gold is impressive. She chose to skip that U15 and U17 division. She wanted to compete with the best and the oldest with more experience, and she went out and proved that she was better than all of them during qualifying. That was amazing to watch.
Yes, and I know Diandra is very proud of all the bowlers that went to Junior Gold, especially the ones that may have made match play and made any cuts. But she made a real quick announcement yesterday, and she brought all the bowlers out on the lanes that did qualify for Junior Gold and made the first cut, made the second cut, made match play, made TV, and she just couldn't express deep enough that she is so proud of all these bowlers. She's glad that she has an impact to bring these bowlers into all these tournaments and be successful when they go to Junior Gold.
Yeah, and that's the kind of competition you get here. I mean, she had 3 of the bowlers competing this weekend that made Junior Gold's TV show. So these tournaments aren't easy. You're going against best of the best in the country, and you got to work for it if you want to win.
Yeah, there's no doubt that these bowlers are getting better after each tournament that they compete in these EYTs.
Yeah, and that's a testament to all their coaching and the hours of practice they've been putting in to prepare for these tournaments where you have to bowl on 3 very challenging patterns.
So how about the 2018 U20 division? Who are our bowlers of the year for that division?
For the 2018 EYT players of the year, in the U12 division, we had Karina Capron and Landon Jordan. So he's a back-to-back EYT player of the year. So he's looking to keep that going next season, I'm sure.
That's a great accomplishment.
And then in the U15 division, we have Marissa Metcalf from the 2018, and Connor Pula was the boys' 2018 EYT Player of the Year. In U20, Mabel Cummings was. She couldn't be here today because she actually moved into college, and she wishes she was, but she's doing bigger, better things now, getting ready for the college season.
Yeah, best of luck to her. She's attending Vanderbilt now.
Yeah, a great school and a great bowling program. And then Alex Acosta is our U20 2018 Player of the Year, and he's actually leading our U20 division today.
Yeah, followed by Cameron Crow, who was 2019's Bowler of the Year. So number 1 and number 2 in our standings are number 1 and number 2 bowlers of the year in the last 2 years. So very competitive up at the top of the leaderboard, and I think deservingly showing themselves why they were Bowler of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, every other game it feels like they're switching 1 and 2, going back and forth. So that's definitely going to be a fun one to see who gets that high qualifier trophy, and it's going to be fun. How close are they?
Yeah, so Alex is leading Cameron by 73 pins. Not far behind Cameron is Nolan Blessing out of Cincinnati, Ohio, who is trailing Cameron by 51. So I believe Nolan is making a shot at that number 2 seed. I believe he would want to get that 1-round bye and not have to worry about the first match.
Yeah, and after watching him on the live stream pair yesterday, he had a pretty good look. Very strong two-handed game.
Yeah.
And I think he can do really well on this pattern, especially in the first few games here. And as long as he can make that transition for games 3, 4, 5, he could make a push for that top 2, possibly, if he has a big set today, possibly number 1.
Yeah, and he's got potential. Yesterday he was second in the U20 men's scoring for block 2, which was a long pattern. He shot 1040, and the leader out of that entire block was at 1070, and that's Bobby Habletter out of Park Ridge, Illinois. We actually saw Bobby fire a 275 in game 1.
Yeah, so he had that huge game, and then it looks like he kept it right around 200 the rest of those 4 games.
Yeah, so Nolan definitely has the potential to have a big block and potentially take over Cameron. And I mean, if it's a big block, he could take over the first seed. So
yeah, you never know how these bowlers are going to react on these different patterns, and all it takes is a couple bad games and a couple really nice games from him, and he can make a big jump.
yeah, I mean, 50 pins in one game of a swing is quite common, especially in college bowling, if I must say.
Yes.
So now we're moving into game 2, medium pattern, and we have the bowler that we've all been waiting for in Jillian Martin.
Morning, gentlemen.
Once we get standings after game number 1, game number 11 overall, we will be sure to announce it and let you all know. We'll get that to you as soon as we can. So up we have Jillian Martin.
Looks like she's trying to build off that second frame strike, looking for the first double of the game here.
And she's supporting one of the champion customized jerseys that the EYT provides and given to us by High Five Gear.
Looking to add to the collection this weekend.
She's going to be playing a little bit further left than a lot of the girls will. She's got more rev rate, more power coming off of her hand.
Looks like that one she just let it leak a little bit too far to the right. Didn't have quite enough on it to get back.
I was talking to specifically Jillian's coach, but also other coaches of youth bowlers, asking what is the game plan. And what he told me is, on this pattern, since there are multiple angles that can be played, he was going to have a lot of the bowlers start out to the right, and that's generally how he suggests all medium patterns start. Test out to the right, see how it's going. If your game is hooking a little bit too much, then he says bump to the left, so that means just move a couple boards left. And if the ball's still hooking a little bit more, continue to migrate a little bit left. We're not trying to make huge moves at the start. He said sometimes in practice you don't always have that line yet. So the goal, if you don't have a line yet, is in 4 frames, figure out the line, and continue from there. So sometimes after 10 minutes of practice, you still might be lost.
Yeah, and at that point, we talked about filling your arsenal. Just maybe go to that benchmark ball until you can find something a little more comfortable and loosen your swing up a little bit easier. Jonathan with a nice spare conversion there to stay clean.
Jonathan Scallon comes from Chicago, Illinois. He says that bowling in these EYTs, it allows him to learn social skills and work on his mental game.
That's a great point, especially on these patterns. Definitely going to be testing your mental game, see how well you can handle these 3 different patterns.
Yeah, it's something that we keep bringing up over and over, and it's just, you just can't really say enough about it, how important the mental game is.
Yeah, if bad breaks or bad shots, you got to learn from the bad shots, adjust with them. And with the bad breaks, you got to know you made a good shot and just forget about that one and move on. You can't dwell on the bad ones and bad breaks. Otherwise, that'll affect your coming shots down the road.
Darren Fraza here on lane 22 has an interesting style. He's a left-handed bowler that actually goes back up, and it reacts as if it's a right-handed bowler.
Yeah, don't see that too often, but you do see that every now and then, and he seems to be handling it pretty well. He's been practicing it.
Comes in with the strike on the first ball, and I mean, he's ready for live stream. He's out of Burlington, Wisconsin, not too far from us.
Another Wisconsin boy. We like to see those.
I'm excited. There's another bowler named Riley in this field, not just the commentator today. And Riley comes from Union, Kentucky.
Oh, wow. So, like we've been saying, people from all over the country coming to compete at this huge Elite Youth Tour tournament.
It looks like Riley has a sister, Ronell. She's also in the U20 girls division.
Yeah, so they just made a family weekend out of this, and they're hoping for the best, and hopefully they can both walk away with some hardware.
Yeah, maybe some prize money and celebrate with some victory songs on the drive home.
Oh, yeah.
Or flight home. I'm not sure how they got here. He's got a really good game. He's nice strike there. He's got a soft hand and good balance at the line. Seems like a cool demeanor.
Yeah, and that's always nice to have. Cool, calm, and collected.
Riley's looking to bounce back after 2 rough blocks yesterday. He finds himself in 37th place in the U20 division. Jasmine McKeel leaves the big 4 on lane 24. After a pretty good start, she went strike, spare, spare, but found that one jump a little bit and went through the face. She's from Wakanda, Illinois, and she is a past champion.
Yeah, she's actually looking to chase down Jillian Martin for that first place spot.
Yeah,
40 pins back.
She sits in second, huh?
Yep, she's definitely looking to bring home another championship jersey, as well as Jillian. So this is going to be a fun battle to watch there.
Yeah, yesterday Jasmine actually gained about 50 pins on Jillian.
Yeah, so we'll see who can make the proper adjustments and stay clean. And I'm going to guess whoever does that is going to walk away with a high qualifier spot today.
Yeah, they're on the same pair all day, so
And
they're going to be calculating some scores.
Oh yeah, looks like Julian's struggling a little bit on the live stream pair, just getting that over-under reaction.
Yeah, she's looking back at her coach right now, trying to figure out kind of what's going on. Not seeing the ball reactions that she's expecting.
Yeah,
Which
a few splits and a washout to start the first 5.
leads me to believe that game 1 was broken down way different than what she's seen here in game 2.
Yeah, we'll see if both of them can figure this out and start stringing some strikes. Here's Salvatore coming in on the lane 22, looking to bounce back from his split last frame.
Salvador is wearing one of our Battle Royale shirts made by High Five. So these shirts are specifically made for this tournament. It is considered one of the majors of the EYT season. And these youth bowlers are able to purchase the shirts on site, or you could have pre-ordered and gotten your name on the back of it. Which they are very sharp, by the way.
They are.
They have a king and a queen as from a card set, and then they're modified slightly with roses and things of that sort. But very, very sharp shirts, lots going on, and stylish, you know, on the lanes.
Yeah, definitely. Be sure to grab them off the EYT website, where you can go to eliteyouthtour.com, go on there, and you can click on the tab to look at the different jerseys they have to offer, or click on the High Five tab on there and design your own. Darren there with a nice strike with that backup approach.
Aiden on the delivery on lane 24. He said bowling has helped him come out of a tough place in his life in the past. He's been able to create new connections, make new friends, and you know, get him outside the house and enjoying some social time.
Yeah, I mean, you got 114 other athletes here that you can talk to and really make lifelong friends with, and you don't even know it yet. Here's an interesting leave on 22 by Jonathan. He's got the 1-5-7. Don't see that too often. See if he can convert that and send the 1-5 over into the 7 for the spare.
Hopefully he'll hook at this one.
Goes up the lane. Oh,
Leaves the 5?
takes the 1 out, hits the 7, goes right behind the 5 pin. Don't see that one ever, too.
If you were to ask me if that were to happen, I would have told you no.
Off his head, I thought he had that. It looked pretty good.
You never know what you're going to see on this live stream, huh?
No, it's can't plan for anything.
It's a funny game. You're throwing a round object at some weird-looking shapes down lane. It's going to create some different-looking stuff.
Yeah, never know if you hit them just wrong or just right.
Yeah,
Get some bad breaks.
Just wrong or just right. Hopefully just right, more than just wrong.
Yeah, like you said, you can't plan for anything.
Yesterday we saw a 4 count.
Yeah.
The bowler hit the head pin and only knocked down 4 pins.
Look at that. I thought he hit that one just right, and he had a light mixer 7. Like to see that Go Wisconsin fan. We're definitely cheering a little bit for the Wisconsin players.
Thank you, Don. Catherine Vollman, go Kyle. That's right, go Kyle. Good shout out to Kyle. Kyle Vollman's greatest accomplishment in the bowling world has been winning the adult youth tournament, and he enjoys making friends from all over the U.S., something that we alluded to a little previously.
Yeah, like you see that from all these athletes. I'd say at least half of them have that as their comment. They love making these new friends from all over the country. And as they grow and continue to bowl in this sport, they're only going to make more and more and make stronger relationships. I know once we hit college, we definitely made some great friendships that are going to last a long time. And
Nice trip on the 5-pin.
it's going to be fun to stay in touch, and I never expected any of those friends when I was in high school.
Yeah, they become your best friends, really. Going across lane for the 7-pin. And here's a 7-pin approach that goes straight at it. So there's 2 different ways to make the same pin.
Yeah, no, can't go wrong either way. As long as it gets the job done, and you get that slash up there.
Yeah,
It all
slashes,
looks
not
good.
dashes. What would you recommend spare shooting at that 7-pin?
I personally like to see bowlers throw straight at them. You know it's going A to B. There's no question if the ball's going to hook or not hook if it hits some oil or a friction spot. So if I had to recommend anything, I'd recommend bowlers to throw straight at their spares. You know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, they say the quickest way to get from one point to another is a straight line, right? And that's the same concept for bowling. You know, you take that roundabout way where you're hooking at it. You know, sometimes you don't know if it's going to hook or not. And that's the same concept for throwing a strike ball. Sometimes you're not sure if it's going to hook or not, and then it hooks a little bit too much. We're going to see that same reaction on a spare. So throwing it straight, hard and straight, is going to be the most accurate way and most successful way, in my opinion. But everyone has their own way of shooting spares. As if you're making them, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We are just receiving some standing sheets, so we'll have a standing update. Standings. We'll see how close of a race it is for that top 5 spot in each division. So we'll start with the U12 mixed. This is the guys and girls in one tournament. Leading at 2012 is Gavin Murray. He's been the leader consistently throughout, especially after the second block yesterday. He is from Orlando, Florida, one of the furthest travelers. And second is Roman Caporal. He's from Pennsylvania at 18-13. So Gavin is making a strong push to lead. Luke Stawalski is in third. Lila Williams in fourth, and Josh Luke Weems in fifth. Josh Luke Weems is an interesting story. He's from Chicago, Illinois, and one of the youngest competitors in this field.
Yeah, and I actually heard a story about him. Last year, he was hit by a car, and he had to learn how to walk and everything. So he's making a great run. He's one of the younger athletes here, and for him to come back within a year, and here he is making a run for top 5 in
Wow.
that match play.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, so we're pushing for him to have a fun tournament.
That's incredible. And he's got a great physical game. And from getting hit by a car to learning how to walk to delivering a bowling ball the way he does.
Andy has one of the best attitudes out
Oh,
of everybody.
yeah.
Out of all these 115 athletes, he's been probably one of the biggest personalities we've seen.
He is a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to talk with. I know Diandra had pulled him aside for a couple of interviews. They did some photo shoots, and oh man, he is the star of the show, and rightfully so.
He's been a lot of fun this weekend, and I'm excited to see
There he goes. He's running. He got his bowling ball, and he's sprinting down the aisle right now.
So walking to sprinting and bowling, he's got it all already. And then we'll go to the U15 girls division. Staying in first place is Gianna Brandolino from Shanahan, Illinois. She is starting to pull away a little bit from second place. She's got a good 100-pin lead almost above our 2018 EYT U12 Player of the Year, Karina Caprone from Fremont, Nebraska. In third place, Abigail Starkey from Schaumburg, Illinois. Fourth place is Paige Matiasek from Lockport, Illinois. And then we got Jenna Hedgepath from Tennessee rounding out our top 5 at 1791. And it's a pretty close race. We got the next 3-4 bowlers are all within 40 pins of her, so it's going to be another tight race.
Yeah, actually, the bowler right outside the cut, Isabella Colin, shot 204, which was the high game for the girls U15. So she moved up a couple of spots, and if she can follow that game up, pardon me, there's a 212 game, but if she can follow 204 up with another solid game, she'll be right inside the top 5.
Yeah, she's going to make a solid run, it looks like. And then for the U15 boys, still leading is Landon Jordan, who is now, 300 pins up. So
he is really pulling away.
So we got Landon Jordan from Sycamore, Illinois leading. In second place, Aiden Kaufman of Elwood, Indiana. Third place, Kyle Pranger from Muskegon, Michigan. Jaden Barron from Deer Park, Illinois. Rounding out the top 5 is Dylan Murray of Orlando, Florida. He is at 1851, and sixth place is about 15 pins or so behind him, and sixth place is starting to separate themselves from the rest of the field.
Yeah, solid 213 game there from the sixth place bowler, Ethan Caruso.
Yeah, it looks like if he can follow that up and keep that going, he's going to find himself in the top 5 after these 5 games.
Interesting. The trend right now is a couple of those 6th and 7th place bowlers are firing some good games and putting pressure on these top 5.
Yeah, even the 7th place bowler, Jordan Griffin, he's about 75 pins back, but he fired a 234 to start the day.
And that's a high game for the boys U15 division.
Yeah, so if he can somehow keep up those 230s, he's going to easily find himself up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be fun to watch them guys.
That'll be a good push. We'll move up to the U20 girls. And you see the leader right now on our live stream pair, Jillian Martin. She's leading Ronell Ulandi. Ronell is from Kentucky, and we see her brother stepping up on the approach in Riley. In third place, the U20 girls is Barbara Lunsford. In fourth place is Jasmine McKeel, who we also have on our live stream. She's stepping up right now on lane 23. And fifth place is Brooklyn Gagnon from South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, wow. So there's, like we said, we've got over a dozen different states coming in to bowl this youth tournament.
Not far behind fifth place is Megan Kohlberg. We saw Megan in the top 3 consistently yesterday. She had a couple of games that brought her down on the standings at the end of the day, games like 8, 9, or 10. And she's looking to bounce back. She did fire a 210. And this is, again, a 6th place bowler. Shoots 210. Looks like tied for the highest game in the U20 girls division and making a push. She's only 8 pins away from 5th place.
Oh, wow. So another tight division.
In the U20 boys division, we have Alex Acosta consistently leading here, 246 with his last game. Cameron Crowe is close behind. He had a 227. Nolan Blessing is in 3rd place with a 234. and Brandon Caruso, or Zaworski is in 4th place, and Brandon Caruso is the cut line at 2,096. So there were 4 out of the 5 top bowlers shot 200 in the boys U20 division. So they definitely found something on that first pair. They might be having trouble on the second pair, and we'll see. Matthew Labonte is sitting in 6th, just 16 pins behind the cut line. So if these top 5 bowlers continue to shoot these 200 games, I don't know if it's going to change much.
Yeah, if you're throwing 200s up there, you're going to have to start throwing some 250 games if you want to crack that top 5.
Josh is looking for an update on Zane from the U12 division. Zane is sitting in 7th place. Zane is from Canton, Illinois. He's at 1544. The bowler above him in 6th place is at 1558. And the top 5 cut line is at 1563. So he's still right in it, 19 pins away, sitting in 7th place. Jasmine with a nice strike there on lane 24. First of the 10th frame, looking to connect 3 in a row and get those bonus pins of 10th frame bowling. That was a very good delivery on the ring 10 there from Jasmine. Quite upset about that, and I would be too. It was a great shot. She wants those bonus pins on the fill ball and stubborn 10 pin.
And she's chasing Jillian up there, and Jillian struggled quite a bit with the 142 that game, so she's definitely trying to gain some more ground and really would have liked that second strike to get another bonus shot.
Yeah, no doubt. So Jillian's 142. And then Jasmine can max at 166, so that's going to be a 24-pin increase, which will actually put them in an exact tie for first place. So that 1 and 2 seeds are very close. And we'll be taking a quick break here. Again, this was Riley and Mason, and we will let a new interview come on in.
And we are back. This is Curtis Von Kruger, and I am joined once again by Deandra Asbaty.
Hi.
Coming into the booth.
Thanks for having me.
Always exuberant, always in a good mood.
I am so happy to be there. There is literally no other place that I would rather be in this entire world, and the world is big.
The world is big.
So
and you have seen a lot of it.
I have, yeah. Fortunately, because of bowling.
Yeah.
Now I can watch some really amazing youth bowlers. And oh my God, how good are they?
I've had the opportunity to really get a great look at most of the bowlers in the field. Everything from the U12 to the U20. It just, you see on bowlers on every level, just really making things happen and really just shining. It's really just an opportunity for them to shine, an opportunity for them to learn, and you see that everywhere you look right here.
Yeah, and can I tell you that even more impressive than their amazing bowling is their attitudes.
Absolutely.
They are on point right now with, I know what we're putting out there, what we're laying out there is not the easiest patterns they've ever seen in their life. And they are handling this adversity like pros. And that, to me, means way more than what they're doing on the lanes or how many pins they're knocking down. It's amazing to see how they're keeping it together mentally, because that is what's difficult.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting. A majority of these bowlers will not go on to be pros or may not even bowl at the next level, and that's fine. That's great. And so, they are learning how to bowl in a competitive fashion, but you're teaching them life skills that they can take beyond the bowling center, beyond the lanes.
And that's what it's always been about. It's not just, hey, let's create this really great tour and bring in all the really great bowlers and have them become better at bowling. That's a part of it.
Absolutely.
But even bigger than that for me was to create a space for them to grow into leaders. And a lot of them are doing that, and to show them that they truly can affect the world. They can change the world, not just the bowling world, but the world, and empowering them and educating them on that. So it's more than what you're seeing on the lanes. It goes beyond the lanes, and a lot of these bowlers, I see what they're doing off the lanes and how they're making a difference in their community and how they're going on to do really great things. And for me, I could not be more proud.
Absolutely, and you really see, some top-level players in this field like Jillian Martin, and it just goes to show you. And one of the interesting facts that we were talking to her father, and he mentioned that Jillian really looked at this as a stepping stone, and not even a stepping stone, but like a training ground for the PWBA tour.
And she's already out there bowling on the PWBA, some of the stops as an amateur, and that, I could cry.
Mm-hmm.
I could cry knowing that she's using this to prepare for her future, and it's working. And what an honor.
We were in Orlando, and I was practicing, which is a rarity these days.
Oh, yeah.
And I was practicing
What
next
were
to
you
Jill.
throwing?
I was throwing, oh yeah, wow! I was throwing an IQ Emerald Pearl.
Yeah.
It was, and it looked really, ball motion looked fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great ball. It's one of my faves.
But I was bowling next to Jillian. And
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was. I was on the lane next to her. And it was intimidating. I was intimidated.
Were you nervous?
I was nervous about this because she just throws it so good. And the EYT is a part of that equation.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm not going to take all the credit for her success, but I am just really honored to be part of her journey. And she's going to go on to do really amazing things, and I will be right behind her, cheering her on along the way.
Absolutely. And so we're coming into day 2 today,
Yeah.
right? 5 more games, and then we cut. What can the viewers expect, throughout the day today?
They can expect some intensity, for sure. There's only a couple more games left before we're going to cut to the top 5, and then it's going to be Eliminator Finals, which is really fun. It's not a typical stepladder. I like to mix it up on the Elite Youth Tour. I like to give them some different formats, definitely different patterns, and prepare them for what they might see in the future when they're not a youth bowler and they're on to adult bowling and maybe professional bowling. So I think today you can expect that you'll see some intensity. You'll see some great bowling. So far, I've seen some really great attitudes. What are you seeing out here? And how do you feel about, you don't get to go to a lot of youth events. You're always on either the PBA tour or the PWBA tour, which is the highest level of bowling that you could be. So with that considered, now you're here at this youth event, and tell me what you think. What are your feelings?
Well, just to kind of set the table for this, I've been on and off tour since 1992.
Why?
Well, my father was a professional bowler through the 80s and 90s, Kirk Von Kruger, and later on would hang up the bowling shoes to pick up a pair of dress shoes and become the national tournament director for the PBA, and then eventually the vice commissioner.
Is it because he has the voice for it? Because
he has
he's
the-
got
he
the
has the
perfect
voice, yes.
voice
Yes,
to be
he
the
does.
director of the PBA.
He's got that smooth sounding voice.
That's right.
So, we traveled when I was, I think, about 10 years old. We sold off literally everything we owned
Wow.
and bought tents and went camping across America while he chased his dream to be a professional bowler.
That's amazing that you went from stop to stop camping.
Intense, like straight up.
Intense.
It was intense.
It was
intense.
Good play on words.
Yeah, thank you. I can't take credit for it. But so, from a very, very young age, I had the opportunity to see the highest level bowlers. I saw Norm Dude, Walter Ray, Parker Bone, all these guys I consider my friends. And so when I got into later on in my life, I kept following the tour, kept working with the tour, and it's become an integral part of my life. And so having seen all of that all the time, you come into a tournament with different expectations because professionally, you get a chance to see how those tournaments are run. And I told you yesterday when I came in here, it gives me the same feeling. It gives me the same air. It gives me the same intensity sometimes that you see out there. And some of the quality of players, you can see that, hey, wait a minute, that guy is going to go on or that girl is going to go on to be something else.
And you can say you remember when you watched them bowl the Elite Youth Tour.
Absolutely. And I will see those bowlers out on my tour. Well, I call it my tour. It is my tour. You know what?
Now.
It is my tour.
You are a part of the fabric of the Elite Youth Tour. So.
Yeah. So, it really is a testament to what is being built here, and I really am honored to be a part of it in my little way. So I look forward to the future of this, and I look forward to what else we can do next and taking it up the next level.
Thank you so much, and thank you for making this happen. We don't have a live stream without you, and I'm going to always give you credit for being the brains behind this, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you volunteering to come out for the kids' sake, and I look forward to seeing how we can continue to improve this. And now that you're in, fortunately and unfortunately for you, you're in, and you're a piece of this.
I don't think I can escape now. You
No,
won't let me.
and I want you to know that we really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and it's not about me. It's about these competitors out there and giving them opportunities to expand their horizons and explore the world of bowling. And if that means they're just going to be lifelong bowlers in their leagues, or they go into college and compete in college, and don't move on to the pros, or if they do move on to the pros, we feel like we help build that. And I think that's probably the most important thing you can do in life.
Super rewarding, right?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And what really impresses me is how gracious these kids are, and how beyond their years they are. They appreciate what we're doing here. They appreciate the things that we try to accomplish. And man, that's a humbling thing. It's an absolutely humbling thing. So.
And if you're tuning in, like we know that you are, be sure to share it on your page. Make sure that everybody knows what's happening right now. We're going to be crowning some new champions of Battle Royale later today. Some really cool prizes. We have sashes for the champions. We have really cool crown trophies. Thanks. We have runner-up packs, and all because of some really great sponsors that we have. Storm is offering a free Storm Ball of choice to all the champions. Turbo is offering the runners-up a Turbo prize pack. We've got High Five Gear that is offering the champions jerseys as well as the flags that you see hanging above the pins. Bowler's Journal is offering a 1-year subscription to the Bowler's Journal. We just have a lot of prizes. We have a lot of really great support behind us. Gail Voschel is in the house today. He's our main financial sponsor. If you're interested in sponsoring the Elite Youth Tour in any way, and we take any types of donations, please reach out to us. I'm easy to get a hold of, Deandra at EliteYouthTour.com. And I also want to give a shout out to my dad. My dad, even though there's no banner with his name on it, he is like one of the biggest sponsors of this tour, because he holds all of my Elite Youth Tour boxes that go from event to event in his store, Hyman's Auto Supply in South Chicago. And I probably don't give him enough credit, but it's a lot of work for him to store it. And then I'll say, hey, Dad, my event is in Addison. Can you drop off my stuff on Wednesday? And he'll have one of his drivers at his work drive all of the boxes here, unload them, and then pick them up after the tournament.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful for my dad's support. Also, my cousin Timmy prints a lot of the things that we have, from the recap sheets to the banners, and he's in Northwest Indiana. My dad will send a driver to go pick up the things from the print shop, and things like that make it a lot easier for me because I just can't do it all. So with all the support, especially from my family, from the team that I have, I want to give them a shout out. Riley and Mason are doing amazing. Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness.
We've got Jason Belmonte here. Hi. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for stopping by.
Jason, how are you,
And
sir?
it's good to mention that he's a big reason that we even have this tour. He helped me start it in 2012. So I'm going to go chat with him. I'm going to pull in a really amazing coach that is out here coaching a lot of these kids that are he's literally at every single event, and he's always wearing really bright pants. So let's have Will Clark come in, talk to you for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
We'll get Will Clark. I mean, Will, not only is he coaching a lot of these youth players, he has an opportunity to coach at the next level. So he has a really great perspective on what it takes to not only bowl at a youth competitive level and a college competitive level, but what it takes to be competitive on the PWBA tour. With hey, and Will, hey, nice, thank you for joining us, Will Clark. Coach extraordinaire. Everybody knows him just as the Puma guy sometimes. And but let's get this started. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, Curtis?
I am fantastic. Watching some incredible bowling. So
Yeah.
how can I be bad? So we were just talking about kind of a little bit about your background, and you coach a number of players out on the PWBA tour now. Mainly a lot of the great rookies that are out there right now, like Julia Bond and Gigi Mason.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, and being able to kind of do that.
Well, it's certainly an experience this year that has been very eye-opening for me. Getting a chance to watch all the best lady bowlers in the world, besides the two that I coach that are out there.
They're not bad.
Yeah, they both had a very nice rookie season out there. I mean, I know they've been a little frustrated because both of them want to win, and it's hard to win out there. I mean, what Shannon's done out there on the tour this year to win 4 titles this year
incredible.
is I can't even describe how unbelievable that is. So, you got a lot of ladies out there. They're all fighting for the same thing, and even to get to a TV show is difficult, much less to get through the TV show and actually win. So, to go out there and be able to experience and see all the things that
this kid Connor, straps on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, he gets through the ball strong. That's one of the kids that I coach out here too,
Oh,
Connor.
wow.
So, yeah, he's been with me for I think probably about 3 or 4 years now, and for a young guy, little guy, he definitely gets through the ball pretty strong. So, good player. Has had some success out at Junior Gold. Certainly has a lot of success in these tournaments that we have here locally. So, yeah.
So how do you feel like this tour helps a player like Connor?
Oh, well, I've talked to Diandra about many times. I'm blessed to be able to come out to something like this event. I mean, this is a huge event that we have going on right now, but even the normal events that Diandra runs, she does such an excellent job as far as putting out different patterns for the kids to bowl on, and preparing them for, if they're going to go bowl in college, which a lot of them looking to do, and a lot of other players looking to try to make Junior Team USA and eventually go on to make Team USA. So with those things, it's like they get an opportunity to bowl in these patterns that is going to gain some experience and understanding of what balls they need to throw, how the lanes transition, and so on and so forth. And like I said, you've got kids in this tournament that we have here today from, all over. There's big kids. We've got 120 kids here from, I think, 8 or 9 different states. It's unbelievable that they would travel to such a wonderful event here just to come out and experience some more sport bowling and get a chance to learn and gain some more knowledge out here on the lane.
Well, and know this probably as good as anybody. physical game only gets you so far.
Absolutely.
And I've seen a lot of great physical games out on tour throughout the years that never really made the transition. They look like they pass the smell test when you see them throw the ball, but it's just that next level, that next layer,
Yes.
understanding equipment and transition,
Yes.
that eludes them.
Well, I mean, not to go to necessarily get away from bowling, but I always refer to it like even in golf. You know, there's a lot of guys from tee to green that are great, but don't know how to read putts on a lane. I mean, on a green. And if you can't make putts on a PGA tour or any tour playing golf, you're not going to be successful. Well, that's what we have to do every time we're out here bowling. The lane is our green, basically, so we have to figure out how to navigate what's going on out there, but it's constantly changing. You know, you're going from pair to pair with different lanes, with different balls that are being thrown on the lanes, who you're following, and of course we always talk about as bowlers the topography, how the level level of the land is playing. So it's different from lane to lane and day to day, and the different conditions that we put out there. So it makes it very difficult. It's a constant, you know, using your brain, the little computer that you have going on, and trying to figure out what you need to do and how you need to navigate the best you can. You know, to find the pocket first and then get the ball to shape to the pins the right way. So.
And it's looking at those details. It's focus. It takes intense focus. And people may not, and the viewers out there that are listening, the work isn't done when the ball leaves your hand.
No.
That it's actually just starting at that
Yes.
point in time. And tell me a little bit about what they can be looking for as the ball moves down lane.
Well, I mean, we always talk about as the ball's starting to go down the lane is where the ball wants to start picking up on the lane and how it actually shapes as it's going through the pins. And so as you're going up there and making shots, as you were alluding to earlier, I mean, you could be throwing the ball great. I mean, literally great. But if you don't have the right shape from the ball, or it's not picking up in the right part of the lane, that way we call that down, where it's slowing down at the proper time in order to create the right shape going through the pins, then I mean, you could be making great shots all day and still not bowl well.
Doesn't matter.
Whereas you have somebody else that may not even throw it as well as you do, but they understand the shape of their bowling ball and they create a little bit more margin and area for themselves to hit, and they figure out a way to get to the ball in the pocket more consistently, but not only to the pocket, but get it to shape to the pins the right way, so it's just easier for them to strike.
Yeah, and it's weird, and it's a strange thing. When I started bowling back in the day, you really read the lane left to right.
Yeah.
It was all about, you know, you made 1-and-1 moves, or man, you made a 4-and-2 move. Wow, like the lanes were breaking down.
Yep.
Now, bowlers don't really, and at least at the highest level, bowlers aren't looking at a lane left to right. They're looking at a lane front to back.
Yes.
They're not really, and they're looking, when you say create area, when I said create area back in the day, it was like I had 5 boards left to right. That's not the case anymore. The case is how much distance down lane do I have for my ball motion to start? Tell me how, with that in mind, tell me how players can adjust off of that ball motion and what that means to get it to the spot, as you say.
Well, like I say, when we're talking about actually trying to figure out that, I mean, I think I always talked about the best player, you know, maybe ever, one of the best, Walter Ray.
Absolutely.
He always was one that liked to play play the lanes more from front to back, you know, and just try to get the ball to just where the ball was hooking. And I think, you know, we've gotten to the point where we like to see the ball hook, and everybody likes to see it, but it's like you start watching even the best bowlers in the world, it's like it's trying to get the ball to keep, if they can, a lot of times a little bit more in front of them, you know, control the pocket a little bit more. And you know what I talk about is where we're trying to get the ball to slow down again in the right part of the lane, and it's going to be different on different patterns. You know, a lot of times if you're on something that's a little bit shorter, you know, and you're playing a little bit more to the right part of the lane, you're trying to get the ball to hook sooner and slow down even faster, so you don't create nearly as much ball motion when it gets down towards the pins. So it's just easier for the ball to read the lane. And sometimes as you're bowling on maybe something that's a little bit longer or more of a medium or a longer pattern, you know, that's going to change where you're trying to get the ball to slow down on the lane in order to actually create the right shape going through the pins.
And it might change the ball choice you're making.
Yes. Well, I mean, a lot of times too, I mean, a lot of people would think once the lane's like on a longer pattern, it's like, oh, I need to throw something that's really dull and really aggressive. A lot of time it's just the opposite. Maybe initially, you know, something that's a little bit more aggressive. What ends up happening once you do that is like the fronts start to get beat up,
And
so
the
you get some early
backhands
hook, and the backhands tighten up.
tighten up.
And so it's like, in order to get the ball to actually have some shape down the lane and get through the front, you actually have to go to a little weaker ball.
Slow it down.
Maybe something that's pearl, maybe still with a little bit bigger engine in it, might be asymmetrical, or go to something even weaker and then go to a symmetrical ball that's going to clear the fronts a little bit better and store a little bit more motion for you down towards the pins.
Yeah, because you don't want it picking up early, and you want it to get down. So making those types of adjustment, and when you can't learn that until you learn that.
Yes.
You can't, and so you look at a tour like this, and it prepares you to start making those transitions. When you do look at a player like Walter Ray or Norm Duke, Norm Duke's a great example. What he did this last year is at his age against the bowlers he played it against. But it was his understanding. It was his ability to trick out a bowling ball. And really, he was playing parts of the lane. Nobody else, they didn't even think that line was there.
Yep.
And Norm Duke wins back-to-back jacks, playing just, and that was all of his knowledge.
Well, I mean, I talked to some people about that because, I mean, certainly incredible. Norm winning at any age, but certainly at the age he's at now.
41 titles.
41 titles is unbelievable. I mean, just it's crazy. I think what helped him out is the two patterns that he bowled on were they had both lanes that were oiled differently.
Yes.
So for him, he was able to use more tricks and tools at that point in time in order to try to shape the ball what was necessary for him on those patterns. And not that the younger generation can't do those things, but they just don't come across that nearly as much as what the generations that Norm came from and Walter came from and the Parker Bones and all those guys. The lanes, we didn't have lane graphs and knew what the lane's doing and oiled board by board. So,
and there was double burn squads.
Yes, double burn. So, they had to learn to do more things earlier in order to be successful. And having Norm be able to do those things on those type patterns, it's not a surprise that he was still to be able to successful because the scoring pace is typically a little bit lower. He didn't go out there and average 235, 240. Not that he's not still capable of doing those things, but on those patterns, it usually doesn't require that much. It's about quality shots and making your spares and being able to very small nuances in order to change your ball shape and when the ball wants to pick up on the lane in order for you to try to get the ball to the pins the right way.
Absolutely, and some really great points there. And it was funny, I was actually talking to Norm, I think it was in, where were we? Detroit. We were there for the World Series, and it was after he won, and I was basically telling him, you got to consider yourself one of the GOATs now, right? I mean, I would put you, you're there with Earl and you're there with Walter Ray. You've eclipsed a barrier that only two other bowlers, and his answer was, nah, man, nah, that's not me, man. And he completely dismissed the notion that he was even considered in those people's breath, which is, we all know, is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
But it was the humility of the man.
He's super humble. I think he appreciates all the things that, all the fans especially. And,
absolutely.
But anyway.
But it's that humility that I think is the Elite Youth Tour is also teaching these bowlers. They're teaching them sportsmanship.
Absolutely.
Because you have to take it on that next level. There's a reason why everybody in bowling pretty much has an awesome Norm Duke story. Is because he always showed the sportsmanship. He always conducts himself at a level that is well representative of the sport.
Yes.
And we're teaching these young bowlers now that part is just as important as what you do on the lanes.
And sometimes I think even more important.
I mean,
it's like I've seen Norm where he's been, upset at his bowling, but by the time he comes out and talks to the people outside of the locker room, you know what? He is going to conduct himself in a way that is the most professional manner. He's going to be pleasurable with everybody because he knows how important it is to have the people want to come out and continue to help grow this sport again. So, but it's something that Diandra here at these EYT has stressed every time I've been out here, sportsmanship and how you handle yourself, and that you're not going to be hitting stuff, kicking stuff, screaming at stuff, any of that. And it's and I always tell them when they get a chance to go see, which the pros I believe are in town this week at Parkside Lane down in Aurora, Illinois.
Yeah, there's Sean Rash's center there for the summer swing.
So if any of you that could get down there, you get a chance to see how they conduct themselves and how they handle themselves on the lanes. And you'll see some that probably aren't quite as good at it. And then you see some of the best ones where it's just like they just kind of go and do their thing and just figuring things out. And yeah, they get frustrated, but all at the same time, it's like they know that they have to stay a little bit more, steady Eddie, not ride the big roller coaster ride up and down to be able to maintain their focus and advantage against the ones that aren't able to do that.
Yeah, and it's always an important aspect, and you know we're giving these young bowlers an opportunity to feel the pressure, to feel that intensity when you don't have the berries, when you don't have, and you got to grind it out.
Yep.
And that is frustrating.
Yes.
You know, but that you still have to conduct yourself, and we will be giving out the Jason Belmonte Sportsmanship Award today.
Awesome.
Which the winner of that will get a storm ball of their choice, so that's pretty great.
That's pretty awesome.
And then an awesome trophy. But this isn't something that we select here at the EYT. This is something that is voted about from your peers.
And it's the best way to do it.
And it mimics the tours, right? You have the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award out on the PBA Tour, and that isn't something that the tournament directors, and I know this for a fact, isn't something that tournament directors select and say, oh, that guy was. This is something that bowlers do themselves, and they select that person. And so we're going to mimic that here at the EYT, and again, it's showing them that that's something that's a important aspect of this. So one of the great things about this, another great thing about this tour. So, what's next for you, my friend?
Well, Curtis, you know you've seen me a lot this year,
Yeah,
so
more than my family, unfortunately,
yes,
at times.
I believe that 100%. Sometimes mine too. Well, next week I'll be going actually to another event. It's called the Storm U Challenge, and it's going to be out in Wichita. And then the following week I will be out with the ladies again for the last major tournament in North Carolina. So it's been a busy year for me. I've enjoyed every bit of it. You know, I know with talking with Curtis too. It's you know, what he does on a consistent basis, even getting up to the point where we have this, that I'm able to talk to you today and be on live stream here at the Deandra's tournament here out at Stardust Bowl out in Addison, Illinois. It's incredible the things that him and his other co-workers, so to speak, do when they're at all these tournaments. It's the unseen stuff that they're doing, but it's some of the most important stuff that needs to be done. And I know he doesn't like to hear me talk about that stuff because he's a very humble young man too, but you know, he's just one of the best in the business, period. I mean, I've been watching him and I pay attention to those things and the details and everything that they do in order to try to be on top of everything and in front of everything. And like the last tournament that we went to, it just, there was a couple pair of lanes that were actually the roof leaked, and so they had to readjust all the equipment, all that sort of stuff. And you know, most people aren't paying attention to any of that stuff, and it's like but that's part of what happens to go on. It's like if there's a problem, they have to be able to manage that and fix that right away. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate what they do for this event and all the events that they're at and the ladies tour that I've been at, because I know the ladies out there very much appreciate it, but I think sometimes the fans don't understand sometimes when things aren't running as smoothly as they would like them to, that they've got these people that are out there really busting their humps and trying to get everything to be as perfect as it can. But as we all know in life, you know, life ain't perfect, so everything that we try to do isn't going to be perfect either, and we have to deal with some of those ups and downs and figure out how we need to navigate through that to make it as best we can for the day.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the kind words, sir, and really, you know, it's I'm not the kind to take. I usually deflect compliments, but I will take this humbly and say thank you. And it's great to have you out on the PWBA tour and helping those young ladies kind of take that next transition, because I know how difficult that can be.
Sure.
And so, you know, we thank you, and I'm sure you got some players to coach out there right now. But
we do have a few, but that's okay. We're keeping an eye on one even here from the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you? I will ask you this question. This is a medium format, the medium pattern right here.
Yeah.
Where do you see? Where would you be playing this? What zone would you be playing?
Are you talking about me personally, or what the players?
What the players should.
Well, I mean, on these medium patterns, and not to get into, but it's like there's most medium patterns you can typically place some different angles in order to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like at this point in time, you know, a lot of people have started a little bit more left on the pattern.
Absolutely.
And so typically when that happens, you're just going to have to get a little farther to the left and keep migrating to the left. It doesn't mean the pattern's going to play easy, but it seems like that seems to be the better direction to go in order to try to get the proper shape. So there are a few players that I know that we're trying to play a little farther to the right, some that maybe throw a little faster or can or don't hook it as much, and that looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that getting a little bit farther left on the pattern for most of the players is the direction that they need to go in order to try to be a little bit more successful on it today.
Perfect. And it's I said it before, I'll say it again, these patterns are not easy.
No.
These are not gimme patterns. These are not the house china, so to speak.
No.
And I know that, you know, people watching might say, oh, well, you know, these scores aren't great, but I challenge you to come out and bowl on it and see just how difficult and what these players have to do in order to be successful. So another great aspect of this tour is multiple patterns over a couple of days.
Yes.
That's a pro tournament right there.
Yes, they bowl in 3 different patterns, and all of them have been, I've watched a lot of patterns, and all of them are playing pretty difficult. There hasn't been anything I've seen that there was something that was easy to score on. There's some that might maybe a little bit more scoreable, but you still had to make really good shots. But going back to some of that stuff, and you talk about challenging other people, and I talked to some of the parents about that too. It's like, I know sometimes it's frustrating to watch your kids not bowl the way you'd like to see them bowl, but all at the same time, it's like, you know, I say that it's like, you know, they're out there giving effort and trying as best they can, and just try to be more patient with them and understanding with them that it's just, this is going to be a part of it. It's especially if they haven't bowled on much of the stuff, a learning and growing process, and that's what it should be about. And just try to stay encouraging and positive with them, because like I said, and you said, if you had the parents come out that actually bowl and try to bowl on these patterns, they would find out that these things aren't very easy.
No.
So, you know, it's
I don't want to bowl on.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I coach now. I don't do much bowling anymore, because I don't have to think as much as far as that goes, because I don't have to worry about my form and this. You know, I can just try to get my players in a better part of the lane, maybe with a better bowling ball, or have them roll it a little bit differently, whatever it might take in order to be a little bit easier to get it to the pocket. But outside of that, they're the ones that have to go up there and throw the bowling balls, so they deserve all the credit in the world for that.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm behind the mic and behind the scenes as well. So,
hey, don't let him fool you. Everybody, he's on the comeback trail.
Hey, whoa. I have announced my comeback. I am actually going to start bowling competitively again. It's been like 10 years, but hey, well, let's do this. You know, let's do this.
I'll help you out in any way that I can. I know you got a lot of people out there that that are willing to help, but you need any help from me, I'm happy to help you out in any way that I can too. So I wish you the best in that.
Thanks, Will. I appreciate that. Well, we're going to probably hand it back over here in a minute to the OG crew, let them get back in here. But we really appreciated talking to you today, Will.
Hey, man, no, I really appreciate having me. Like I said, I love this tournament. I love what Deandra's doing for the game of bowling. She is such a positive and influenced person as far as just as a human being. She's such a great person, and I know she throws her heart and soul into all these things.
Absolutely.
They mean so much to her, and it's great to see the turnout that she has, that people want to not only support the tournament and her, but, you know, want to support the sport of bowling. So.
Yep, and when we thank Diandra for bringing all of this together and contributing to making a better sport for us in the future.
Absolutely,
so.
absolutely.
And you're doing your part too, my friend. You keep coaching them up and making those players even better, and we expect a lot of great things from those players like Julia and Gigi. So.
Well, I appreciate that very much. That means a lot to me coming from you. Like I said, I appreciate those comments, and I'm not one that usually takes them that well either, but since you took mine so easily, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for that too. And I wish everybody the best out here the rest of the day, and those that make it on the match play, and everybody that doesn't, and to continue coming back to these tournaments, and when you get out of here, to have a safe trip home. All right?
Thank you so much, Will.
All right.
Will Clark, everybody. We are coming into, what is this?
This into game 3, and we're going to be going into game 4.
We've got 2 more games to come here, and then we will be making some cuts.
Absolutely.
It's going to be exciting. Stay tuned. We will be streaming all of that right for you and your viewing pleasure. Go ahead and give us a share, give us a like, the Elite Youth Tour page, and get some people watching some of the best youth bowlers in the world.
Sounds great. You're awesome, Curtis.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, EYT fans. Riley Smith back here.
Mason Petrin as well.
Hope you enjoy a little Deandra Asbaty time and some great information from the coach Will.
And it looks like we're wrapping up game 3 here as the players transition over to their game 4 patterns or lanes. And we'll see who we got coming on in a minute.
Connor's finishing up with a good game here. Pretty aggressive form and a lot of power generated with one hand. 213.
Nothing wrong with that. Looks like he has the high game on the pair at the moment.
Yeah, we got a couple of other bowlers that flirted with the 200 with 193s, 199.
Yeah, we'll see if Danny LeBon can sneak out and hit the new high game here on this pair. 21 to 24.
That's a good ball reaction right there. Danny's got a brother in this field. I was spending some time yesterday in between blocks, chatting it up with them. Matthew Labonte and his brother Matt is in 6th place. This is really going to catapult Danny. Danny's currently in 18th place. With the 200 game here, it's going to, well, scores are improving a little bit, but still, it's not going to hurt him at all. He's going to move up.
Yeah, definitely probably a good few spots at least.
Pretty good pair here with 207, 213, 203.
Yeah, it looks like those guys were all lined up, and we'll see what these guys can do coming up. Looks like some of our U20 bowlers are struggling a little bit, a few lanes over in the top 5. Looks like we got Nolan Blessing. He's going to finish out with a 180 here after a few bad breaks, a few splits there. And I believe Cameron Crowe finished out with a 150 that game. So might get some changing of the top 5 in U20 here.
As we take over here, we'd like to encourage the audience to drop any comments, any questions, or shout-outs. We love the interaction. Any topics you'd like us to discuss? Savannah Dixon is going to lead us off here on lane 22. It's fun seeing the interaction between the bowlers. A couple just migrated in front of our table and they were giving each other high fives, and Connor, after that nice 203 game, was getting some support from the rest of his peers and saying keep it going, you know. He's battling, and after that good game, catching some momentum.
Yeah, looks like they're not only competing for the high qualifier trophies or anything, but also that sportsmanship award where you get a free bowling ball from Jason Belmonte and a free storm ball of your choice, as well as a really cool trophy. So it'll be fun. on lanes 21, 22, and 23 and 24, we have Jenna Hedgepath, Paige Rawlings, Savannah Dixon, Isabella Colon, Mackenzie Mattis, Jacqueline Porro, Morgan Brunner, Jenna Pitts, Brianna Pimentel, Faith Sprout, Leanne Stevens, and Abigail Merton.
I'll highlight Jenna Hedgepath real quick. She's a part of the U15 girls division from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Another long drive or plane flight. We appreciate her coming all the way to Addison, Illinois. A great accomplishment in her career was a first place at a Storm Youth Challenge that goes by SYC, and second place Teen Masters. Along with that, third place at Junior Gold. So quite the resume for a youth bowler in the U15 division. Katie Crow giving a shout out to Danny Labonte. I assume a relation to Cameron Crow?
Yeah, not a bad assumption.
Spelled the same. If anybody is wondering, we do have Jason wandering around the tournament today. Guest appearance, Jason Belmonte.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's going to help stick around and maybe hand out some of those high qualifier awards as well as his sportsmanship award.
Yeah,
So-
how awesome would that be? A youth bowler receiving an award from Jason.
Arguably one of the best bowlers to ever bowl.
That would be awesome. I mean, just that opportunity. I kind of wish I could have been there.
Yeah, we didn't have those opportunities growing up too often. Mackenzie giving a shot, playing right up the lane with a crossover strike.
There we go.
So gets that 5-pin out.
Let's see if that gets her started. 9 spare strike, good start to the game. We're just missing the leaders of the U20 boys division. They're bowling on lane 25 and 26. You can get the tail end of their shots on the right side of the screen. They did struggle on their last pair, so we'll keep an eye on what they're doing on this pair. They're off to a better start. So far, no opens between those 6 bowlers. And we will bring you live standings as soon as possible.
Tough split conversion here with the 2-4-10. Gives a good run
Converts
and
it.
she converts it.
Great spare there. Great spare.
Definitely helps kickstart her with her first mark of the game. Looks like she's going to try a new ball on this next shot, so hopefully it works out for her.
Making a ball change. Didn't like what she saw.
Splits are never fun. Definitely try to get away from that.
A former champion is currently on this live stream pair. Paige Rawlings. She's a part of the U15 girls division from South Elgin, Illinois. And you'll see Paige stepping up shortly on 23 and 24. She's supporting the champion Elite Youth Tour unique high five jersey.
And as we've said before, each champion from each division will get their own unique championship jersey specifically made for them from High Five, which is an awesome bonus because they get to represent themselves and walk around with that, proving that they're champions.
McKenzie looking to connect 2 in a row here. Gets a break, leaving the 6-10. Ball change worked for Savannah with a solid 9 spare in the 4th frame. As we get close to the final games here, we're going to get a lot of tight competition. As we mentioned before, they're paired based on score. So all the U20 boys that are in the lead, U15, U12 mixed, they're all together. They know exactly what they have to shoot. They know exactly what their opponents are shooting. So as it gets down to the nitty-gritty, their eyes will be peeled to the scoreboards.
Oh yeah, like yesterday we had one of the U20 boys. He wasn't quite done bowling yet, but somebody ahead of him finished a few frames before, and he asked, he's like, oh, you're 50 over? He goes, yeah, well, 50 exactly? No, 53. And he's like, all right, and he is on a string, and he knew exactly what he wanted and needed in order to get closer to him. And some players like to know what they need, to put the pressure on themselves, and sometimes it helps them execute because they know it means that much more.
Yeah, some players, they deliver better when they know what's going on. Personally, when I bowl a tournament, I like to face the pins. I compete against the pins. Yes, I'm bowling against other bowlers. You have to be aware of the scoring pace. However, I like to bowl the pins, kind of keep my eyes off the score sheet, because I don't want to have to step up and think I have to do something. Right? This is a game all between your heads, so whatever suits you the best, figure that out and run with it.
Yeah, I'm the same way as you. I like to just focus on me, myself, and the lanes. And as long as I do my job, the pins will eventually fall my way, and I'll be where I want to be at the end of the day. But each athlete's a little bit different.
Yeah, sometimes they need that extra push to say, hey, you're X amount of pins away from maybe the cut line or from leading, and then that's going to give them that extra motivation to keep going. Sometimes if you tell them that information, they're going to falter and become nervous. So it's really everybody's got their own unique game. Find out what's best for you.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting to watch them these last 2 games, see how they handle the pressure.
And this is where they're going to learn a lot about themselves. They can go out and bowl for fun, shoot high scores, but when it really matters, what do they do? What do they prefer? And a lot of these kids haven't even learned yet what they prefer. Do they like to look at the scores or not like to see scores? And I think putting these bowlers in the situation, it was determined by the tournament directors here, Deandra and her crew, that we want to keep them together and put them through the experience.
Yeah, if you want to beat the best, or if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you're going to be bowling right along with them, side by side. So,
and in college bowling, where a lot of these kids want to advance to, that's how they do it. If you're the 1 seed, you're going to be next to the 2 seed, the 3 seed, and the 4 seed, and it's possible that the 4 seed can shoot 240, and then you're the 1 seed looking over there. Hey, we got to have a big game now, because you see exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, so it's definitely a great experience for them to prepare for the next level after high school.
Faith is stepping up on lane 24. She's got a Storm Youth Championship underneath her belt as well, out of Nebraska. She is from Bloomington, Illinois. And she says that bowling gives her a goal, an initiative to continue to get better in life and in bowling. And setting goals is a huge part of pre-game preparation, post-game evaluation. It's very important to set your goals, set them high.
And make sure you're learning from each shot, though. I mean, yes, your goal is to come in, win, or just make the cut. But not always are you going to reach your goals, and you have to evaluate, like you said, your game, your game plan. And yeah, you just got to evaluate every time you bowl. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? When should I have made a ball change? Or when should I have made a zone change? And that's a lot of things these bowlers have to focus on.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, if you don't reach your goals, that's when you evaluate why. You might have to take it game by game or frame by frame and figure out, yeah, in this fourth game today that I'm bowling right now, I didn't have a great start. I made a ball change, wasn't the best ball change. Now why? You know, and maybe that was a limitation of why you didn't reach one of your goals.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these coaches are coming out to these tournaments. They don't just practice at their home centers anymore. They're starting to come to these tournaments, watch them, help evaluate in tournament, and they're able to make these adjustments a lot faster than the players that are out here by themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point, and we see that a lot on the Pro Tour as well. A lot of ball reps, and that's transformed. It's come all the way downstream to the Youth Tour. Whereas before, you go to the Youth Tour, it's typically you and your traveling family or maybe your parents, and that's kind of it. But now we see multiple coaches walking up and down. They have multiple bowlers that are competing, and it's almost like the Pro Tour. It's a exact replica at a smaller scale. On Pro Tour, there's tour reps that are watching for ball motion. They watch certain players, and they're trying to help all their players. But here, each coach has their own players, and it's the same thing.
Yeah, and that also helps them prepare for college, because in college, you're going to have your coach there every shot, if not every game, definitely. And that's just helping them prepare and for that next level.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, and it's awesome that these coaches are sacrificing their time and their weekends to come out and help these youth athletes.
Yeah, that is big kudos to them, all the coaches. Big shout out to the coaches out there.
Looks like we got standings after game 3 now.
All right, standings update.
And we'll start with the U12 mixed division, boys and girls. First place is Gavin Murray, sitting at 2,355 pins. Ahead of second place by just over 200 pins, which is Roman Kaporal from Fairview, Pennsylvania. Then third place is Luke Switulski of Oak Forest, Illinois at 2090. Josh Luke Weems moving up from 5th to 4th from Chicago, Illinois with 1935. And then Lila Williams from Ohio. And then in 6th and 7th place, looks like it's getting pretty close, still within 50 pins of the cut. And that is Spiro Schenk of Noonan, Georgia, and Zane Chakensey of Canton, Illinois.
Cut score for that is 1907.
And then we'll go to the U15 girls division, where Karina Capron of Fremont, Nebraska is leading at 23.59, 10 pins above Gianna Brandolino of Shanahan, Illinois. And then in third place is Abigail Starkey of Schaumburg, Illinois, 22.50. Fourth place, Isabella Colon, Crest Hill, Illinois, 21.60. And rounding out the top 5 is Jenna Hedgepath of Tennessee at 21.57. About 40 pins ahead of 6th place, which is Brenna Hartzler of Smithville, Ohio.
This is where it really gets important. You know, we know the standings now. They're almost done with this game 4, and we have a scoring sheet right behind us actually, and a whole bunch of parents and bowlers are gathering around, waiting for the scores to flip by, and they are taking their notes. This is where it gets really fun.
Yes, so definitely pressure is starting to set in on some of these athletes. For the U15 boys, in first place we have Landon Jordan still of Sycamore, Illinois. He is about 290 pins ahead of second place, who is Kyle Pranger of Muskegon, Michigan. Then third place is Aiden Kaufman of Elwood, Indiana at 22.72. Fourth place is Judd Barron of Deer Park, Illinois, 22.39. Rounding out the top 5 is Dylan Murray of Orlando, Florida at 21.81. And 6th and 7th place look to be about 50 to 40 pins behind that, which is Donovan Lake of Carroll Stream, Illinois, and Ethan Caruso of Shanahan, Illinois. And now we'll move on to the U20 divisions.
U20 girls, we've had quite a bit of a shakeup here as Jillian Martin is struggling mightily on this medium pattern. Jillian Martin, who was previously leading, now falls down to 4th place. So now in first place, Ronelle Ulandi out of Union, Kentucky. She's at 23.99. Second place, Barbara Lunsford. Third place, Brooklyn Gagnon. Fourth place, Jillian Martin. And in 5th place, Bailey Delrose, who made a jump with a nice 2:08 game. She is 3 pins above the 6th place Megan Colbert. And not far behind that is Jasmine McKeel, who we saw on our live stream pair previously. So the 5th place qualifier is at 23:12. U20 boys, Cameron has taken over Alex. It's a flip-flop position there. Cameron's bowling well today at 655 for 3 games. He's at 2707 total. Alex Acosta, 2654. In 3rd, Nolan Blessing. In 4th, Brendan Caruso. In 5th, Brandon Williams. And in 6th, Edward Zaworski. 7th, Matthew Labonte. 5th place cut for the U20 boys is at 2483.
So there's definitely some tight races going on, both at the top and at the cut line. Should be interesting.
Some interesting stuff going on with the U20 boys. Alex Acosta shot 138 in game number 3 of this block, which allowed Cameron Crowe to pass him with a 225. So that's a great example of a 90-pin swing that is possible at any time of the tournament.
Yeah, can never give up because anything can happen on these lanes, especially with them transitioning as quick as they are this weekend.
I'd like to give a shout out to my family who's watching, dropping some comments in the live stream below. Thanks for supporting.
Always nice to hear from family, especially the Smiths.
Mackenzie's putting together a really nice game here. She's cleaned through 8 frames. She put a nice turkey in the middle and hoping for a good foundation frame here.
Oh,
There you go. That was a good setup here. She's got it. She's in the pocket, and she's bound for a big game here. She's playing straight up the track, which is the 10 board. She's laying it down about 10-11, and she's really not letting the ball get outside of that area. Keeping the ball in front of her, controlling the pocket, and that leads to a successful game.
yeah, she is putting together a real nice one and could pop off a really big game that could jump up in the standings for her.
Yeah, 230s are going to benefit you a lot when the scoring pace is sub 200.
Looking like we're closing out game 4 here as Jacqueline just misses that 10 pin to give her a 140 to finish out game 4. We got Isabel Colon trying to convert this 610. Just misses, and she'll finish out with a 148. All right, we got a guest appearance as one of our athletes are stepping into the booth with us. What's your name?
Hayden Smirker.
All right, how's bowling going for you so far today?
Good.
That's good. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
My mom.
And where is she watching from?
Denmark.
Denmark. And she's been watching you this whole weekend?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. You happy about that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say or
No.
wish anyone else any luck or some thank yous?
No.
No? Well, we'd like to wish you the best of luck today
Okay. Thank you.
and finish out on a strong shot for game 5, all right?
Okay.
All right, nice talking with you.
Nice talking to you.
You're welcome. All right, Hayden, he definitely approached us earlier today, and he wanted to say hi to his mom for watching us, or for watching from Denmark, so that was pretty awesome.
After that nice game here by Mackenzie with a 235. In the U15 division, she was sitting in 10th place. 235, I'd imagine, is going to bring her up a decent amount of spots. She was previously 90 pins away from the cut. So just as we saw in the men's division where there was a 130 and a 220, 90 pins. She might be top 5, top 7 or
Yeah,
so.
especially in that U15 division. Not a lot of high scores there. Few 200s here and there, but 230 is definitely going to gain her a big chunk of ground.
And it looks like she's really found the line that she wants.
Yeah,
she was
real
playing the
comfortable.
track and looks very comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see if she can put together another solid game 5 and move into the top 5. Good luck to her.
As we transition into game 5, this is where all the action comes in. This is where all the scores matter. We're going to try to keep up as best we can, and we will give you the live standings after game 4. Try to do some math for you guys, not butcher any numbers, give you any false results.
We make no promises. No, no, we won't. We'll get the numbers right.
Here's Ethan Caruso stepping out on lane 22, a good two-handed approach. A little outside, but it comes flinging back for a light 4-pin. That's the power and the rev that you see causing that ball to hook so much. It looks like Jason and Diandra are making good friends out here with some of these youth bowlers. I see a couple of them with their autographs on the back of their jerseys. Some emotion there, yeah.
Here on lanes 21 and 22, it looks like we'll have Dylan Murray, Kyle Prenger, Ethan Caruso, Donovan Lake. And then on the other pair, once this lane switches over, we'll have Nicholas Maluski, Caden Prenger, Jordan Griffin, Nicholas Papas, and Shooter Garlish. And some of these names are making a run towards the top 5, so we'll see if they can finish out strong on game 5 and crack that top 5 match play.
I'm sure that's why we'll be seeing some extra emotion on a couple of these shots and some of the strikes that they get. Maybe a big double, a little turkey time action. And that'd be that's important.
Yeah, looking for that ham bone and some Yahtzee. It'll be fun.
We have a couple of lefties on this pair, both on lane 21. I'm sure they've been following each other, watching each other all day.
Oh, yeah. Helping each other line up a little bit while watching their games. Here we got Nicholas Papas coming up, and he's one of the younger players, and he's got a strong game for as small as he is. A lot of hand in the ball.
Yeah, one-handed approach. Typically you see the younger bowlers going with the two-handed style, but he's got just as much rev rate as a two-hander, it seems, as with one hand.
Yeah, he definitely gives it all. Got a shout out for Nico here, so good luck to him from his family members or fans.
We have a couple of bowlers that are in competition for a top 5 spot. We'll run through those as we find them in these standings. In the U15 division, Dylan Murray currently sitting in 4th place.
So he's looking to hold his spot and stay up there. Hopefully he can do that. We'll see what this live stream pair does.
Donovan Lake, who we saw give some emotion, important strike to start the game. He's in 7th place in the U15 division. He sits at 1950. And in 5th place was 2006. So it's 56 pins away.
Definitely going to need a big game here to help him catapult him into that top 5 match play. Got Shooter Garlish here looking to convert that 4-7.
Correction on the U15 boys. Dylan Murray is actually in 5th place at 2181, and Donovan Lake has moved up to 6th place at 2138. So Dylan and Donovan are battling for that last position. We still have to wait for our Game 14 update. That was after Game 13. Kyle Pranger steps up. He's a past EYT champion, supporting the awesome EYT jersey given to us by High Five. Kyle is a past MJMA champion in 2019. He's got a good game.
Dylan with another strike, showing a little extra emotion as he doubles up to start the game.
Yeah, that's a big start. Put some pressure on his fellow competitors there.
Definitely needs it.
He knows what's going on. He knows where he stands.
Now or never for him, so let's see if he can make that jump.
Aiden stepping up. He's a smooth lefty.
And we just saw Ethan go up. He leaves the 9-10, a tricky spare conversion. He currently sits in 7th place in the U15 division after 3 games here.
And an awkward 5-10 leave by Aiden. Just a terrible hit. Those are one of those mixers that did not mix.
Yeah, didn't mix enough.
So Aiden Kaufman is competing in the U15 division. As I mentioned before, Dylan Murray is in 5th place at 21.81. Aiden is in 3rd place at 22.72. So he's comfortable in the cut right now after 13 games. We are waiting for game 14.
Donovan with a split conversion attempt here. See if he can get it on the right side of that 3-pin. Ooh, gets the 4 of them.
Shooter is up on lane 23. Delivers a pocket shot, leaves the 5-pin. He's in 11th place in the U15 boys.
Here's Kyle Pranger. He's also competing in the U15, currently sitting in 2nd place behind Jordan Landon, who right now he's just hoping to hold on to that 2nd place spot, as Jordan seems to have, or Landon, sorry, has seemed to have 1st place locked up pretty tight.
Another U15 bowler on this pair is Griffin Jordan from Sycamore, Illinois. He sits in 8th place.
So he's looking for another big game to help put him up there.
Right, so we have Kyle Pranger in the U15, Aiden Kaufman, Dylan Murray, Donovan Lake, Ethan Caruso, Griffin Jordan, and Shooter Garlish, all right in front of us.
All pushing for that top 5 spot.
For the U15.
It's going to be fun to see who can finish it out here.
Failed to mention Nicholas Malowitsky out of Ohio, U15. He's in 9th place.
Yeah, so all these guys, they know they're watching each other, seeing what they got to beat, going to finish up this last squad before match play here. Here we got Dylan Murray with a very unique spare attempt, leaving the 1, 8, 9, 10. See if he can spare that one up. Takes out the 1, 9. Tricky one.
That's a trick shot.
Yeah. Don't see that too often.
Caruso going through the nose. Snowplow.
Definitely need all the breaks you can get at this point of the tournament.
You can see from his face he's got some relief after that one. He wasn't sure what he was going to leave.
Here we got Donovan again trying to recover from his split last frame. Full of emotion today.
A little high.
All right. Looks like he's happy with that 6-pin. Thankful it wasn't a split. Spare conversion successful from Donovan. Kyle also looking to bounce back from an open frame where he went 3-4 last shot.
Two past EYT champions are on 21 and 22 here in Kyle and Aiden.
So they definitely know what it takes to win at one of these events. They're looking to add to that Jersey Championship collection from High Five Gear.
Nice square shot there from Griffin. Able to switch to his plastic ball, take some handout, and a dead straight point A to point B spare shot.
That's what we like to see, especially at the college level. You don't see too many athletes hooking at spares with the challenge patterns that they bowl on. They're definitely trying to get the least amount of reaction out of a spare shot and convert the spare successfully. get a shout out for the Jordan boys. We have Landon Jordan sitting in first place with a steady lead of around 290 pins. And then we got Griffin sitting in 8th place. And he's looking to make a decent run. If he has a big game, he might have a shot at making that top 5. So good luck to both of them as they continue to bowl Game 5 here at the Elite Youth Tour.
This is a grind this last game. I know the pressure's on, the focus has to go up, the shot is becoming challenging. We don't see many strikes right now, so it's really going to come down to who can make their spares. And so many times, that is the key factor between a cut and missing a cut, and then a win or taking second.
Yeah, spares win the games. Strikes are fun and all, but without those spares, you're going to have a hard time making cuts.
That's a great, I mean, that's for every single level.
Yes.
And I'll highlight college bowling again. There's games where when you're in match play, competing for a national championship, you have to make a 10-pin to win the match. It's not always that you have to throw a strike or strike out in the 10th. That's what everyone is all excited about. That's the highest pressure that you can have. But sometimes when that 10-pin or that 7-pin is the only pin left between you and moving on to the next round, that pin looks pretty small and it looks far away.
Oh yeah, and I've seen it, and I've experienced it with the teams I've bowled on and helped coach where we had to make a spare in the 10th frame, or if we lose, it was over. And unfortunately for us that year, we missed that single pin, lost it instead of going into overtime. So spares, can't stress them enough on how much they mean, and they're always going to come and hit you when you least expect it.
So important. The difference between advancing or going home.
Here we got Kyle Pranger looking to find a shot still.
Licks that one right.
All right, leaves a makeable spare here.
Now there's an example of hooking across lane that you're just not sure what's going to happen. Sending that ball across lane, giving it that scenic route. Sometimes it catches some oil that you didn't know was there.
Yeah, and that looks like that's exactly what happened to him. He was expecting it to hook more and caught some oil and never saw that friction to quite get to the 10 pin.
Yeah, and yesterday on the short pattern, I bet that ball would have hooked, right? It would have been less oil, more room for friction, and you might have made that 7-pin. But today, it's a 45-foot pattern. There's extra volume. It's not going to hook as much.
Nice spare from Kyle there as he continues to try to hold his spot in the top 5.
Yeah, this is a grind game for Kyle. You really have to buckle down and see what you're made of.
Yeah, definitely going to be testing his mental game as we close out Game 5 here. He's looking to stay clean the rest of the way and hopefully catch a double like his buddy Ethan there.
Yeah, big double there. He knows how big that is. Coming back with a game face.
There's a good example of throwing straighter at the spare shot.
Yep, straight.
He knew what was going to happen. He knew it was online.
Yeah.
No questions asked once it released.
A straight ball is going dead straight. You don't have to worry about that hooking.
Not at all.
Here's Nicholas stepping up on lane 23. That's all the hand that we're talking about, and he got a lot of power going, cutting right through that pins.
Yeah, it looks like he has a double after that one.
Gives a nice sigh of relief. It's challenging. Catching that double, you never know when it's going to come, but when you get it, it's like, oh, the hard work finally paid off.
Yep, and Kyle with a nice crossover break there, kicking the 9 down late.
And you can see his demeanor. He's not really sure what's going on right now.
Yeah, he's just trying to get through this and move on to that next fresh pattern in match play.
Interesting. We can see a lot unfolded in front of us. I'm sure these are the U15 boys. They are learning a lot about pressure. They're learning a lot about themselves and how to buckle down when it matters.
Yeah, it's definitely the huge learning years in the sport of bowling. Going into these tournaments, especially when the Elite Youth Tour, you got to bowl against 115 other bowlers, and what they're playing, how they're attacking the lanes, and it can affect your lane play. So definitely a mental and physical grind for these bowlers.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have, we have 8-year-olds throwing shots. We have 10-year-olds, all the way to 20-year-olds, and when you're getting all these different bowling balls going down lane, the pattern and the lanes are going to be completely different.
Yeah, they're not always going to play as true as you want them to, especially once that transition starts to hit and the oil gets pushed around a little bit. There Dylan Murray is.
All
with
right.
His first strike of the game.
This is important. We have standings.
Game 4 standings.
Call your parents, call your grandparents, get your kids out here, because we have standings. We're going to start again with the U12 mixed, and then we'll work our way up. All right, listen up here. U12 mixed. Gavin Murray staying strong in the lead. Luke Stawalski moved way up with a 232 game. Luke has a little bit of a follow in here. I'm sure they're going to be very happy to hear that. So he's comfortable. He's in the second place position. Third place, Roman Caporle. Fourth place, Josh Luke Weems. And in fifth place, Spyro Shank. Again, U12 mixed. The cut for that is 2,075. In sixth place, Lila Williamson at 2034. That's really the only other bowler that has a strong chance of taking over the fifth place position, as the next one is 80 pins behind. And now let's see what's going on in U15.
Yeah, we'll start out with the U15 girls. Sitting in first place is Karina Caprone. She's at 2564. About 30 pins ahead of Gianna Brandolino at 2537. Abigail Starkey in third, 2459. Jenna Hedgepath, 2328. And rounding out our top 5 is Brenna Hartzler at 2311. And it's a pretty close race. Sixth place is Isabel Colon. She's at 2308. So they're really tight. And about 40 pins back, 40 and 50 pins back is 7th and 8th place, Paige Matiasek and Mackenzie Mattis. So another close finish as we conclude game 5 here. And then for the U15 boys, sitting on our live stream pair right here, we got Landon Jordan sitting in first place, 2748, 300 pins ahead of second place Kyle Pranger from Muskegon Mission, 2474. In third place is Aiden Kaufman, 2457. Fourth place is Judd Barron, 2395. And in fifth place is Ethan Caruso at 2334. And sixth place we have Dylan Murray, 2328. And seventh place, Donovan Lake, 2292. And the next one is Griffin Jordan at 2263. So those top 8 are getting pretty close, trying to make that top 5 finish.
Yeah, a couple pins here and there, and then we'll have a flip in standings. Let's move up to the U20 now in the girls division. Brooklyn Gagnon has taken over the lead at 2587. She's 7 pins above Ronelle Ulandi. In third place is Barbara Lunsford. Fourth place, Jillian Martin. She's bouncing back here with a 231 game. And in fifth place is Jasmine McKeel. The cut line for the U20 girls is 2532, 2532. And in sixth place is Megan Kohlberg. She's trying to battle back at 2469. Bailey Delrose finds herself in seventh at 2468. That's a pin separation. 2532 is the cut for the girls U20. Now the U20 boys. Cameron Crow is still in the lead, 2896. Alex Acosta in second at 2876. Third place, Nolan Blessing at 2830. Fourth place, Brandon Caruso. Fifth place, Edward Zawarski. And the cut, 2690. The next closest is 40 pins back, and that is Brandon Williamson. Amir Lawrence is looking to make a charge with back-to-back 220 games at 2637. We will try to keep you updated as best we can with this U15 standings. We have them right in front of us, and we have the score sheets that are updated.
Yeah, and here's Ethan. He just finished out with a 170 game, and he is currently sitting in fifth place before game 5 there. So we'll see if that will be enough for him to hold on to the 5th place spot. Here we got Donovan Lake on lane 21, looking to get that first one in the 10th to give him a shot. See, he crosses over for his 6th pin. Kyle.
So Donovan finishes with 165.
And Dylan Murray, who was in 6th place, shot 196. So looks like there might be a change in the top 5 right there.
If our math is correct, he has taken over 5th place by 13 pins.
So he's got to be happy with himself, making that jump and handling the pressure fairly well. Kyle Pranger up here looking to salvage his game in the 10th frame here. Currently sitting in 2nd place after 14 games. With a strong first ball striking.
So the strong leader, without a doubt, is Landon Jordan for the U15 boys.
Yeah, looks like he is going to easily take that 2-round bye for match play.
Huge bonus.
Definitely something to not be mad about.
Looks like we need a score correction here for Kyle Pranger. This might be important with the, so tight with these scores. 1 or 2 pins might be a big difference. Looks like he has 5-1 up there.
Yeah, and he's trying to hold on to that 2nd place spot where he would receive that 1st round bye.
3rd place was Aiden Kaufman. He had a 136 on this live stream pair, so he sits at 25.93, and Kyle will be comfortable in that 2nd place position as he's going for a 163 max.
He keeps going away. He's just so young. He never really had his year in U12.
There we go.
Nice
Another
shot
great
there.
Shot.
Looks like he found his way. He got settled down, comfortable in that 10th frame.
Yeah, looks like he moved his down lane mark closer to the head pin, and that seems to be working for him.
You can see his actions there, how he's taking his hands and bringing them together. That means he tightened up his line. I'm sure he can go back and look at this film, and all of his beginning shots were traveling very far to the right, and his coach was trying to reiterate, you're missing your mark to the right, and now he looks like he got the idea. He found the line, and he's like, light bulb just went off. Tightened my angle a little bit, kept the ball in front of me, and ended up with almost a punch out.
Yeah.
3 pocket shots in a row.
So he's looking comfortable to end that block right there as he finishes out 2nd place, if we are doing our math correctly.
That's a good learning moment for him.
Here we got Nicholas Papas on lane 23. So he's looking to double up in the 10th frame here and get a game into the 170s. Likes that one. 10 back.
Another clutch double for him. Unofficially in the U-Boys 15 division, unofficially, and this is in no particular order, we do know Landon Jordan is in first. To follow, looks like Kyle Pranger, Aiden Kaufman, Judd Barron, and Dylan Murray. which looks to be the top 5. We have that right in front of us, so we were able to do a little bit of numbers here. Did not see Judd Barron on this pair, so we're not exactly sure what he shot, but it looks like he had a big enough cushion to stay inside the top 5.
All right, we got a
Hello.
guest athlete with us here today from the U12 division. His name is Spiros.
Yep.
Spiros, I know you weren't too happy with how you bowled a little bit yesterday. What changed today from yesterday?
Well, I'm pretty impressed how I did today, basically. But yesterday was like a bad day. But today was a really good day, and looks like I made the cut. So
Yeah,
now,
I saw that. Yesterday, you were sitting outside looking in at the top 5, and
yeah.
going into that last game, you were sitting 5th place. How'd that last game go?
Well, last game went pretty bad, but 124. But I checked the scoreboard and everything, just made sure, and I still made the cut. But just no matter what, I just had to I like to have fun though.
Yeah. No, I see you. You're one of the first people in the bowling alley, one of the last to leave. You just love talking and hanging out with everyone, don't you?
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite pro?
My favorite pro is Deandra Asbaty, the one who won the Elite Youth Tour.
Yeah? Why do you pick her as your favorite?
Well, the reason why I pick her as my favorite is because that I just like I like how the way she bowls, and
Yeah, she's a pretty good bowler.
she's really good. But I hope I get to see her on tour sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see her out there a few more times.
Yeah.
And then, where did you come from?
I am from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. So
Atlanta, Georgia.
that was a long haul without. How many bowling balls did you have to bring?
I brought 9 bowling balls.
9 bowling balls. So that's definitely a lot of equipment to bring in, especially fly over here. So that's awesome, man. And good luck in match play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited to watch you, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Yep. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I want to give out a shout out to Josh Weems,
Yeah.
because even though he gets an open, he it's all right, and he's calm and stuff. I think he should get the Jason Belmonte Sportsmanship Award.
Yeah. He's been a great athlete this weekend and nothing but kind to everybody.
Yeah, and even though he bowled bad, he kept trying.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's one spot ahead of you, so maybe you guys get to face each other in match play. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, we are going to be against each other during match play.
Yeah. So we're excited and see what you guys can do against each other. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're going to hang tight for just a couple more minutes here. We are waiting on the U20 boys to finish. A couple of the U20 girls are still bowling right now. And we're going to try to find some more interviews to get. Some of the, just maybe a random youth bowler or maybe someone in the cut. We're going to check out and see who wants to be interviewed. This is a great opportunity for them to come on and be on a live stream and hear themselves after the tournament.
Oh yeah, I know Spiros was up here just before, and he's a great kid. I know he was he's pushing for Josh Luke Weems to get the Jason Belmonte Sports Award. He said even when Josh was struggling a little bit, he always had a smile. He was talking with everybody, giving everyone high fives and saying great shots. So, and that's what we've been saying about Josh too this whole weekend.
Yes.
Great attitude and just loving life out on the Elite Youth Tour.
We did mention that previously in the broadcast. And it holds true. It's not just
Not just us saying
not
it.
just us, yeah. Their peers see it too. And that's a great example. I'm sure people, competitors could label someone as like maybe not the greatest sportsman, or yes, that's a great sportsman. And you don't want to be on that you know,
The negative
the
side.
negative side, exactly.
And Spiros, he's the same thing. He's always smiling, like we said, first kid in, last kid out, constantly talking to everybody. Seems to have made a lot of great friends on this tour that Deandra's put together. And I know him and his mom made a deal. As long as he was on the dean's list or honor roll this last school year, he would be able to come and bowl this tournament all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. So he is more than happy to be here and loving every second of it.
Loves it here. And I think he expressed that in the interview.
Oh yeah, he loved it.
All right, EYT fans, we have Jillian Martin here. Pretty big name going across the U20 girls division. Jillian, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was your block today?
It started off a little interesting, but as the day went on, at the end it definitely got better. So,
Yeah, I saw you at 231 in game number 4. What'd you finish with?
184.
Okay, that's a really good finish. We had you on the live stream game number 2, I believe.
Oh,
didn't,
okay.
didn't look the greatest, so you were
No.
kind of struggling, but glad that you bounced back and you're able to make the cut.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So,
Good. What do you think of this whole EYT tour? What are your thoughts on that?
I love the EYT. It does a great job of getting me prepared for other tournaments, especially the bigger ones that are more national. And this is great. I love everyone who comes here. It's a really big tournament, and I would encourage a lot of people to bowl it.
Yeah, are you meeting a lot of friends here?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends here, and it's just really cool.
Awesome. How much would you say this prepared you for junior gold?
Oh, a lot, like a lot. Just the sport shot experience, getting to bowl against really good competition. It's all great.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a mini junior gold tournament today, this weekend. You're bowling on a short pattern, a long pattern, and a medium pattern. What was your favorite pattern? And then maybe what was your least favorite?
I would actually have to say that when I was throwing the ball my best, the medium would be my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So the least favorite would probably be, I was not too fond of the short.
Okay.
I was good with it at the beginning, and as the day went on, it broke down weird.
Yeah, how much of a challenge is it that we have all of our bowlers together, so the U12s and the U20s are all competing together? Does that change the lanes? Do you see different ball reactions?
It definitely does, because the lanes are broken down differently, and different people have to play in different places depending on what their physical game is like. So, yeah, it's definitely a different breakdown, and it's actually really cool to bowl on and just see how different things happen.
Yeah, that's great analysis there. So as we wait for the final shots to be thrown and match play's coming up next, You will be competing. I don't think you moved up to the top 2 for a bye, so you'll be competing in match play. What are your thoughts? Maybe where are you at mentally? What are you thinking? Do you have any physical game things? Any game plans?
I feel pretty good. My spares seem good, so I'm happy with that. I just got to go out there and make some good shots and stay calm, not get frustrated.
Awesome. How do you like match play?
I like match play a lot. I think it's very fun, and it's fun to test your skills against other people one-on-one.
Exciting. Well, best of luck to you. Thanks for joining us in the booth. And all EYT fans, this is Jillian Martin.
Thank you.
The U20 boys are just finishing up. We'll see if we can grab an interview with one of them. Welcome back, Mason.
Nice to be back before we hit this break for match play.
Any questions from the viewers?
Come one, come all.
Again, this is the EYT Elite Youth Tour. We are in Stardust Bowl of Addison, Illinois. Today we had 115 competitors bowl 5 games on a medium pattern, who yesterday bowled 10 games, 5 across short and 5 across long. This is a miniature junior gold format on 40 lanes in this beautiful bowling alley.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what these athletes are competing for this weekend and what they can win.
So the winner, thanks to our sponsors to begin with, the winner of each division is going to get a High Five champion jersey, which is unique in its own, design and everything for the champion, as well as a banner, which is hanging above the pins on the masking unit. And finally, a Storm bowling ball. So thank you, Storm, for donating that. That's every single champion that we have. So that's going to be 5. The U12 mixed, the U15 boys and girls, and the U20 boys and girls.
Yep. That's I don't know what else you want from a tournament.
I mean, that's
not even counting the prize fund and what the winners are taking home.
Failed to mention that. There will be $7,600 in total scholarship money given out today. The highest award will be $1,500 going to the U20 boys champion, based off of 45 bowlers, off of 40 bowlers, but we have 45. I mean, that's a remarkable number. $7,000, almost $8,000 in scholarship money, and $1,500 to the winner.
Yeah. Where else do you get to find that and get to bowl on these 3 patterns in a one weekend format?
Yeah, this is incredible. We've had over a dozen states participate today. So it really brings in everyone. There's an Orlando, Florida. They're taking planes to get here, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, we got Florida, Georgia, Pennsylvania,
South
Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois,
Tennessee.
Michigan.
Yeah, they're coming from everywhere. I'd like to get some West Coast participation. Anybody from the West Coast out there, drop a comment. Get your kids involved. Bring them out here.
Yeah.
We're typically in the Chicagoland area. We do, if you want to see the schedule, we will be in Indiana. Hop on the EYT website, eliteyouthtour.com. Find the schedule there.
And then there's also a tab that you can sign up and fill out a few questions, and you can sign up right online.
Very easy process. So along with that, some of the runners-up will get a Turbo prize pack. So thank you very much, Turbo, for your contributions to the EYT. It makes the consolation prize a little bit better. You know, losing in the championship match, whoever those may be today, they will get a Turbo prize pack. So, Mason, do you have anything that will be in those prize packs?
Yeah, in those Turbo prize packs, you can get a variety of things, including a puffball, the accessory bag itself, some turbo patches, some insert tape for your thumb holes, and some tape for your thumbs.
That's great. That's setting yourself up for success. That's what I see from the champion and the runner-up. The opportunity to get turbo products and get a new Storm bowling ball, a new jersey and everything. You're going to be ready.
Yeah, and then like to thank the Bowlers Journal as well, one of the sponsors, and they hand out some pretty cool incentives for the winners as well, right?
Yes, 1-year subscription to the Bowlers Journal, which is going to, if your child is into reading, or if they're not, they should be on the Bowlers Journal because there's so much information. You're going to learn what the pros are doing, what high-level amateurs are doing, what USBC, PBA, PWBA, any ball information, lane play information, physical game. I mean, it runs down the whole list.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what they're handing out at this tournament for the weekend.
We'd like to thank Gail Voschel as the main sponsor. Back in 2012 when this Elite Youth Tour was first established by Deandra Asbaty and Jason Belmonte, they had a vision, but they needed some help, and they wanted some support, and Gail was there from the start.
Yeah, he really helped get these guys off the ground and running, and it's been growing rapidly ever since.
Rapidly, and with hopes of growing even more.
Yeah, like we said, thank you to Stardust Bowl here in Illinois. They've been nothing but great hosts for this tournament and treating the staff and the athletes incredibly well. Like we said before, there's been 115 athletes competing this weekend across 40 lanes, and this bowling center is 82 lanes big, so Diandra's goal is to fill this one day, and plenty of room for it to run smoothly.
All right, so this is the conclusion of the tournament. However, we do have a couple of U20 boys that I want to run over and ask for interviews. Please stay tuned. We're looking for Cameron Crow if he wants to get interviewed. He's saying me? Yeah.
All right, I'm going to step out and let Riley interview Cameron for a little bit here.
Come on in, Cameron. We are live. Welcome to the booth.
Oh,
can you hear me?
I feel special. I like this.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
And,
no problem.
And all of our EYT fans. This is Cameron Crow. He is the current bowler of the year for the U20 boys division.
I'm really still trying to figure out how I'm bowler of the year, but hey, I mean, it's an honor.
So, Cameron, you were leading after 14 games. What was your final game?
I shot 225 the last game.
225. Sounds like you kept the lead.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
Congrats. So you're number one. You got a couple of buys.
Got a couple of buys. Got to eat some chicken tenders.
There you go.
It's gonna be nice.
Okay, so tell me how you're feeling, what you're thinking. Your number one seed.
So
you're both incredible.
Are we bowling the same shot, or do we know?
That's to be determined. I'm not sure.
I threw it well today. I did have a couple mistakes, but my spare game really did keep me in it. I strung them when I needed to. The 189 I'm probably the most impressed with. I had to go back 5 forward after a couple bad breaks, a couple bad shots. So I mean that was pretty nice. Yeah, I mean today I found friction on the outside, and that's where my strong suit is. So hopefully we can keep this going to the top 3.
Yeah, that was a good find. I remember I was talking to you right before we started, and I was asking what were your game plan, and you had initially said I'm going to look to play like 10.
Yeah.
And that went away right away? You played the gutter?
I threw my first shot with my purple hammer. It hit 10, and it hit the 3-pin. So I instantly moved to the gutter.
You did it right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, okay, maybe we'll have scores were jumping on 1 and 2 though. So that was like
I noticed that.
That was a crazy pair. So after I got past that one, the friction went away though. But I also had some balls that like I knew I could get it outside, like I can angle it now to the outside. So I found that one as well. So that was pretty solid.
Awesome. Yeah, you started with a 227 on the end pair, 1 and 2. A lot of times that's a trouble pair for people, but you caught it on the fresh, put it behind you, and then you proceeded with a 203, 225, 189, which was a great grind.
Yeah, it was a great grind game.
And then a 225. So you had the highest 5-game block of today.
I did?
That's, yeah, unless anyone shot anything higher. What did Nolan have his last game?
2-0, 190, something like that.
Yeah, he wouldn't pass you. So I believe you did lead this block.
Oh, okay.
And now you're the leader of the whole tournament. So
nice.
Congratulations, great bowling.
Thank you.
So you are in the U20 division.
Yes.
What is your next step in life?
After this, I'm bowling at St. Ambrose University right now. I'll be a freshman this upcoming year.
Okay.
We already started our tryouts. Should I talk about my team?
Yeah. Tell me about St. Ambrose. Well, you know, it's a college recruitment process. You went through kind of a lot of stuff, and now you're at St. Ambrose. So I'm sure the viewers would like to hear that.
I looked at a couple of schools.
If you want, yeah.
So every school I visited was amazing. I loved every single one of them, and I felt like St. Ambrose had the best fit between education and bowling for me. Coach Liddick, great guy, great coach, great with the mental game. So I feel like that would help me better as not only a bowler but as a person. As we're taking a selfie here. I like our team this year. Our team looks really strong. Hopefully we can pull it all together and we can do something special here.
Sounds good. Well, I'm very impressed by your game. This is the first time I got to see you throw a ball, and two-handed lefty. Very impressive. You passed our live stream a couple of times, and you're a great personality. You know, you're entertaining. you're a lot of fun to talk to and stuff. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And match play is coming up, but you're going to be
couple
chilling.
buys.
So what is last question before I let you go?
Okay.
You have 2-round buys. What is the thought process? Are you going to watch the bowling before? Are you going to hang out?
Not only do I want to watch, I kind of want to commentate.
You want to commentate the
Absolutely,
bowling?
I want to commentate.
You want to be all in.
I want to. Well, I'm gonna, of course, throw some practice shots on the second buy.
Yeah.
But the first one, I would love to commentate.
Come in the booth. Hey, we can probably make that happen.
All right. I'll see you guys later then.
Cameron is all about the fun. He's all involved here. It's been a great time. Awesome meeting you and getting to know you and stuff.
Nice to know you too. It was great meeting you.
Thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys later. That was fun. Oh, you can't hear me.
All right, that's going to close off our interviews for this set. Mason's coming back in, and we're going to say our final goodbyes, and we will be back with live match play. Look for the updates on the Elite Youth Tour Facebook page. We'll post the current standings and any match play times, and then we'll go live. Stay tuned. From all of us here at the EYT, I'm Riley Smith.
My name's Mason Petrin.
All of our sponsors, thank you, High Five, Bowlers Journal, Gail Voschel, Turbo,
Storm.
Jason Belmonte, Storm. And thank you, viewers, our EYT friends, family, and fans. We hope to see you again.